distraction. You've got homecoming, you've got an inter-district game. You got to keep the kids focused.
Sure, and we did some things today to minimize the distractions as much as you could with a parade, before the game and pep assembly. But I think our kids are fired up and ready to go.
So what are the keys tonight?
Well, obviously, I mentioned turnovers. The front has got to be solid, and that's something that last year North had a very big and aggressive offensive line. They're still good this year. They're missing their 2 giant tackles that they had. I think our D-line up front needs to get going and play tough football. And I think it's the same for the offensive line. I think the battle is going to be one up front. We got both teams have great backs, but I think it's going to come down to who wins the trenches.
And then, of course, on the passing game side of things, we still are in a position where we have so many targets that have so much matchup problems because of how tall and big they are.
Yeah, Colby Baggett really came on last week. He had 5 catches, I think, for 76 yards, some big receptions. So now he's another, defensive coordinator's nightmare that now he's got to eyeball Trevor, he's got to eyeball Russo, and now he's got Baggett and McAtee. It's tough to pinpoint where Sammy's going to go with the ball.
All right, so any injuries to worry about?
No injuries.
That's great. And, of course, we talked a little bit about the weather. We could have some wet stuff come through. I certainly drove through plenty of it on the way here from Lawrence. And, obviously the cool temperatures, a little bit of wind.
A little bit of wind. Rain could, it's always a factor as far as ball security for both teams. So we'll deal with the weather when it gets here.
All right, should be fun. Good luck tonight.
Thank you, Joel.
All right, that's Coach Vinny Carswell. I'm Joel Becker, and this is Titan Football, a presentation of Backport Sports, Beck Bros Productions, and 810varsity.com.
When it comes to SUVs, nothing beats Honda. U.S. News & World Report's best SUV brand 4 years in a row, including the 2019 Honda Pilot, one of the millions of Hondas built here in America since 1982. Or the 2019 CR-V, a crossover car and driver calls a better value than the RAV4. And right now, get Pilot with 1.9% APR financing for well-qualified buyers. For more offers, visit kchondadealers.com today.
Welcome back out to Titan Stadium. Back live, it's Joel Becker along with Coach Royce Bain, Lee Summit West and Lee Summit North, and they are at the center of the field right now, just about to do the coin toss. And last year, Coach, this was a game where, at least during the regular season when they met, the Broncos really took over that front line because of the size and not only of their offensive line but of their backs as well. And then as the game wore on, and then especially in the playoffs, they really committed to stopping the run. The Titans did.
No, they did. They had a wake-up call that first game, and of course, Vinny takes that stuff very personal, and so, like I said, they bounced back.
So, and then, the other interesting thing here I just noticed is the Titans won the toss and deferred. Only 2 captains out there. I was actually just thinking about how, when we were Class 4, a lot of teams would send half their team out there for the.
No, that's crazy.
And here we have 4 captains on one side and 2 on the other, and that's it. So, all right, so we'll see the Broncos offense when we come back. Opening kickoff coming up after this on Titan Football, a presentation of Backport Sports, Beck Bros Productions, and 810varsity.com.
Today is a new day. A day we've been waiting for our whole lives. We've put in the work to get to this moment, to have this opportunity to come together as a team. Everyone knows KC is on the rise, but what they don't know is we're just getting started. Community America, powering the rise of Kansas City.
It's time.
Welcome back out to Titan Stadium. Joel Becker along with Coach Royce Bain as Lee Summit West about to take on Lee Summit North. 4-1 versus 3-2. Of course, last week against Staley, Coach, we got something that, a 40-0 score really was not indicative of the game, but it was indicative of how things, what they're looking to accomplish.
Oh, no doubt. And the big thing that he talked about before the game last week, he talked about turnovers. Could be a big key, and it was a huge key to put 21 up on the board on them.
Cole Stewart out at the, or has the ball teed up anyway at the 40-yard line. Mosey back, Keon Mosey. deep for the Broncos, the coach's son.
No, coach's nephew.
Nephew, sorry. And it was a squib kick taken by an up man, taken out to the 31. Good coverage, but still pretty good starting field position for the Broncos. It was Dane Davis on the return, and we will see Colin Perkins and company come out, and we're expecting to get a pretty steady dose of running game, huh?
Yeah, that's what it looks like. It looked like a little jet sweep, just little zone, and pretty simple for Lissa North, but it's now, you got to stop him.
So Perkins in the shotgun with Mosey to his left to start things off. Twins on either side, and back to throw. It's a swing pass. Actually, this is a run because he passed it backwards. Mosey hit as he got to the line of scrimmage, forced out of bounds. Glasgow along with Fredrickson making the tackle.
Mosey with the carry.
And really not much on the gain, so we'll call it 2nd and 10.
Loss of 1 yard on the play. It's 2nd down and 11.
Okay, 2nd and 11.
2nd and 11.
Although, you know what? That's where they should have marked it in the first place on that run back.
Right.
So 2nd and long, which is obviously what the Titans would like to see as they go 4 down. And it's going to be a sort of end around Mosey, nowhere to go, as Basil got in the backfield and blew it up, came up with the tackle, and a couple of tackles for losses to start this game off for the Titans.
Big start for the Titan defense right now.
John Hill is our referee tonight. Justin Thompson, the umpire. Roald, the linesman. Corey Starnes, the line judge. And Maurice Ragland, the back judge. It's interesting, there's a Ragland that plays for the Lee Summit North Broncos. I don't know if there's any relation.
I don't think there is. He doesn't look familiar.
Back to throw. On 3rd and long, throwing near side, incomplete, in and out of the hands of the intended receiver, Miles Shaw. And it'll be a 3 and out for the Broncos.
First pass is intended for number 6, Shaw. It is incomplete. Brings up 4th down.
That was the pass was there. It wasn't a bad pass.
No, the pass was there. He was wide open.
I don't know that he would have gotten a first down.
No.
But it still should have probably been complete. They may be going for it here.
Yeah, looks like maybe a little quick.
Or a pooch punt.
Pooch punt.
Yeah, now he drops back a little bit more. And it will be the kick, short kick, but it takes a Broncos bounce inside the 40, now inside to the 30. And it'll be down to the 29-yard line. The Titans will take over 1st and 10 from there.
Kick by Perkins is down.
So we'll get a chance to see Sammy Cooper and company as we played 1 minute and 18 seconds here in the first quarter, and the Titans defense looked very sharp.
They were on top of it right there.
Well, the coach talked about winning that, front 7 battle. They really did that first drive anyway. Which actually, this season they have sometimes come out a little flat.
They have.
And so it's good to see them. Maybe it's the homecoming effect.
Maybe it is. No, you know what it is. It's Lee Summit North.
From the shotgun, it's a give to Wilson, looking for room over left tackle. He's got running room down the far sideline. He is forced out of bounds as he gets around midfield. I believe he may have gotten into Bronco territory. Now they're saying,
run to the left side.
Let's see where they do put it down. He did walk out of bounds at some point. It'll be the 43 that they mark him out of bounds, but still good enough for a first down. Pick up about 14 on 1st and 10 on the run off left tackle.
Nice execution.
Titans take a while to get that play, come to the line quickly. And the snap, and it is a run to the right side for Cooper. And he's got nowhere to go, and he is hit and tackled. Drove into the ground a little bit there by the linebacker, Gaskin.
Right side by Cooper.
Tell you what, in the NFL, that might have actually been called a personal foul.
Yes, it might have.
Because he lifted up his legs and drove him into the ground, kind of wrestling style.
He sure did.
Instead, it goes down as a loss of 4, 2nd and 14. They go empty backfield at least to start with trips on the left, 1 man on the right. On 2nd and long, back to throw Cooper, getting a rush, pulls it down, and he's sacked. Again, the linebackers into the backfield. At that time, it was Cole. Jarrett Cole with the sack. I thought that Sammy was going to have a chance to get the throw off before he got sacked, but I think he just didn't like what he saw.
Well, and I tell you what, the offensive line didn't give him any time at all to throw the football or even set up.
Brings up third
So
down.
after a first down run for a first down, it is now third and a country mile, third and about 25, with the ball back at the 28, which is a yard shy of where they started this drive. On play action, Cooper steps up. He eludes one man, gets into the secondary, and he's able to force his way up near the 40. He'll be about 14 yards shy of a first down. And the Titans will send the punting unit in, so both teams punting on their first offensive drive.
Well, I'll tell you what, heard this earlier in the week, it's going to be a defensive battle.
Fourth down for the Titans.
Seems to be a good call, at least so far as that is concerned. Dane Davis is back deep. The punt will be short, but takes a great Titan bounce. Will go inside the 20, down to about the 17-yard line. So it turns out to be a really nice punt for Sammy Cooper.
Well, it started off looking kind of ugly there.
You know, the wind is a factor today as well. And we'll see whether or not the temperature becomes a factor as this game goes on.
Well, I was looking at it this afternoon, and it looked like it was supposed to stay 58, 59 throughout the whole game.
The overnight low is going to be possibly,
40s, right?
Yeah, certainly tomorrow night when the skies clear up. Carlton gives to Mosey, looking for room up the middle. He's hit by Careswell, does a good job to hang on, along with Basil, for a gain of maybe a couple.
Tackle made by number 9.
Let's call it 2nd and 8. Clock running, 8:15 left to go first quarter. We played just under 4 minutes. Both teams with an offensive drive. The Titans got 1 first down, and the Broncos got 0. Second down from the shotgun. Back to throw. Carlton throwing near side. It is caught on a little curl route. And that'll be Mucky on the catch.
That was pretty good coverage, too.
Yeah, he was right there, but
Number 18, Mucky.
It'll set up a third down and 2.
Nicholas Cole.
It'll be kind of interesting to see. That was Cole on the coverage. Cahill had quite a game last week. We'll see if he can build on that. He's been a little up and down this season. 3rd and 2. Let's see what they do. It's going to be a give. Mosey looking for running room. He'll get a first down. Across the 30 to about the 32. Did a good job waiting for a hole to open up.
Did a great job waiting there.
Mosey picks up the first down. Tackle made by number 7, Carson.
First down of the game for the Broncos.
1st and 10 Broncos from their own 32.
I did find it kind of interesting that, as tough as they've had running the football, that they did choose to go for it on the ground there on 3rd down and 2, even though it was 3rd and short.
Yeah. Well, that again, though, that's what they've been doing all year long.
So they come with an H-back and 6 men on the line. Now a man in motion, and it is give to that man, Shaw, trying to get around the end. He was hitting the backfield, does make a positive gain out of it across the 35 to about the 36. It'll be a pickup of 4, 2nd and 6.
Once again, jet sweep, zone, jet sweep, zone. I was in Holly Careswell's office yesterday, and she told me that Vinny got bored of just watching film because it's the same thing every time.
Getting some dental work done?
I did. I got my cleaning.
Mosey on the carry, right tackle. Found a hole, not much more though. Got 2 yards up to the 30. Let's call it the 39. So a pickup of 3, and it'll set up a 3rd and 3 from there.
Nice little football crowd here tonight, Joel.
Well, you'd think that the Broncos obviously would travel well across town, although they did have parade traffic to fight through.
Not ours.
3rd down, about 3. We'll see if again they keep it on the ground. The Titans almost jumped, but didn't. Boy, they're screaming at the side judge for not calling an offsides. But they apparently ruled he didn't quite cross the plane. Takes the snap and the give up the middle. Mosey. He'll be close, and I believe he made it. The spot looks like he needed the 32, and the spot looks 42, excuse me. And the spot looks like he got about a half a yard more than he needed. And that should move the chains. There they go. It's 1st and 10. So a couple of first downs for the Broncos, at least changing the field position situation. Still on their own side of the midfield stripe, though. Last year, the Titans got to the point where they were going with 5 down linemen, you remember. They got 4 for this play. And it's a give. Mosby up the middle. Got to the 45, but no further. That's a pickup of 3, 2nd and 7.
Yeah, it looks like Coach Carswell's little scheme this week is closing it from the outside in.
They have, at least on the last couple of plays, tried to, the 4 down linemen, and they had 6 guys on the line along with an H-back.
3-yard gain on the play, 2nd down.
So you had your front 5 plus a tight end and then the H-back. That's you're kind of outnumbered in that scenario.
Yeah.
And they still have hold them to at least no long runs so far. Shotgun formation, the same front 7, this time Shaw in motion. Back to throw, Carlton. He's looking to set up a screen, but that was not there, and he just throws it away. Threw it to the feet of the intended receiver, which was Moore. Jaden Moore, the wide receiver. They were trying to set up that wide receiver screen.
Yes. But I'll tell you what, none of the linemen were moving in the middle of the field.
Right, and the Titans didn't bite on it.
45, 7 yards to go.
So it'll be a 3rd and 7 after the incomplete pass. Clock stop, 3:58 to go, first quarter, no score. Titans hoping to come up with a stop here as they'll go with only 2 men down. Here they come on a blitz, though, trying to set up, throw in, incomplete. Yeah, somebody got a hand on it. And I tell you what, Perkins got knocked down. There may be, it looks like a holding flag, but there's going to be, Perkins is not coming up. They're going to have to take a look at him.
Flag down.
This flag is not for roughing the passer, I do not believe. I believe it's going to be a hold. Or possibly could be an illegal man downfield, but no, it's holding against the Broncos. That should be declined.
Decline it.
And it should have set up a 4th down. I wouldn't imagine they're in 4-down territory on their own side of the 50-yard line. Coach Carswell coming out to make sure that he's telling them he wants to decline the penalty. As John Hill, the referee, making the indication.
Joel, do you want to know how long he's been around?
Sure, I would love to know how long.
Oh, my Lord. I've been doing this for 30 years in retirement.
They had leather helmets.
And he's still doing it.
Right? They had leather helmets when they started. Devin DeRoos back at about his own 32. 4th down and 7. This is an area where you could see a fake, but they do snap it to him, and he'll kick one. Spiral high kick, and it's going to be, did he touch it? I don't know. And the Titans will jump on it. A good heads-up play there by, I think that was Wyatt Ramsey, who managed to come over and fall on it. I don't know if he touched it or not, but you never know what they would have called. So the Titans are going to have poor field position on their own 7.
Wow.
I'm not sure exactly what he was trying to do there.
I don't either. Honestly, that punt right there is one that you just let go.
Well, and the thing about it,
with people coming into your face.
Yeah, the thing about it is that the good news is, from a Titan perspective, is that they probably would have had the same field position had he gone away, because it was bouncing that way.
Right.
But still, at least they guaranteed they'd kept possession. Let's see what happens as Wilson goes into the pistol behind Cooper. On 1st and 10, they throw, and did he make the catch?
I don't think he
did.
No.
It's intended for Russo, and I believe he bounced it to him. He trapped it, as they did play action and tried for a quick slant. And it'll be 2nd and 10 again from their own 7. Titans bring Surratt in for this play. He'll go out in a slot on the right side. Wilson still in the backfield to the left of Cooper from the shotgun. Twins on the left as well. Now Surratt in the backfield. He'll give it to Wilson. Stiff arms one man. Does a good job of getting positive yardage, as he had a real good grip on his jersey to Gaskin, the linebacker.
And I tell you what, he kept his knees moving and did a great job.
Managed to take what was probably a 1 or 2 yard gain and turn it into about a 6 yard gain.
Exactly.
And set up a much more makeable 3rd down and 4, and they're on the other side of the 10 as well.
5 yard gain on the run. 3rd down and 5.
Titans do have the win for this quarter for another 2:54 here. On 3rd down, Cooper will roll to the left side, looking to throws, and it is incomplete. But there is a flag. It was intended for Cardell, and there was contact. I believe this will be an interference call. Wait for the indication, but flag was pretty much immediate.
It sure was.
Pass interference against the Broncos.
Against Lissa and North.
And that'll take really change the field position momentum. Give them 15 yards and a 1st down.
Cushion them up a little bit, open up the air game right here.
Well, that's a sort of matchup problem that most of these Titan receivers, and especially Cardell, present. You know, you throw the ball up like that, there's no way that you can stop him from catching it unless you interfere.
Right.
Which is what he did. He tried to climb him up, basically.
Yeah, right, and now that we found more weapons, it helps us out.
Yeah, because you can't just double and triple cover Cardell anymore. Right. You got trips on the right this time. Cardell's on the left, along with a slot receiver. Now that is Wilson. He goes in motion. They fake to him, throws, incomplete.
And you know what? Cardell was wide open.
Well, and it was a miscommunication. I'm sure what the called route for Cardell was a slant. And he saw that the position of the defensive back was on the inside, and so that if he took a fly route instead of a slant route, he was going to run right by him. So that's what he did. Unfortunately, Cooper didn't read it, as we have a run on this play off left tackle for a couple yards for Cooper. And we got a flag in the secondary. Way after the play. It was in the vicinity of McAtee. Joseph Thomas, the safety,
Titans are acting
was
like
in that area. Like a late hit or unnecessary roughness type penalty or something like that. Although he did look to that other side. It is a personal foul against the Broncos. I think it was a hit after the play.
Foul against the Broncos.
So that's 30 yards in penalties the Titans are going to pick up here. Anyway, getting to that last play again. Totally lost my train of thought.
I'm waiting for you, Joe, to look back and say something, Coach.
Anyway, after the penalty, up to about the 43-yard line, give Wilson trying to find a hole up the middle. He got it maybe a yard before throwing back.
Wilson up the middle.
And it'll be 2nd down and 9 from there. Clock running with 2:23 left to go in this quarter. And the Titans go up to the line pretty quickly here. Cooper trying to throw. It is caught by Baggett, as he'll pick up where he left off last week, right up at midfield. It'll set up a 3rd down and 4. What we were talking about was on that previous play with Cardell. He went in, and Sammy just didn't read it the same way. So Sam threw where the pass was supposed to go, and Trevor went right up the field. But like you said, if he had recognized it, all he had to do was just put some air under it. And Trevor would have run under it and wouldn't have stopped. 3rd down and 4 from the shotgun. It'll be a give. Wilson. And he's hit, and he's going to be tackled just shy of a 1st down. The Titans may go for it here. Across midfield at the 47-yard line, they've got right about exactly a yard to go. And really no hesitation. They're not even thinking about bringing in the punting unit. Tell you what, that was quite a burst of speed there by Wilson.
That was. Man, I tell you what, the offensive line opened up a hole there for him to get that burst.
This is going to be a run option here for Cooper, I would imagine. Wilson comes in and the pistol. And the Titans are going to run a play. Baggett in motion. Oh, they checked off. And this should buy the Titans a 1st down. Clock stopped with 55 seconds to go in the quarter.
I don't know what the heck the Bronco coaching staff's griping about. That was clearly offside.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, they're just, hey, if they could buy themselves a false start, why not give it a try?
1st down for the Titans.
The worst thing that happens is the line judge looks at you and goes, "You're crazy."
Exactly. No doubt.
1st and 10 Titans. I wonder if they would have snapped the ball or if they would have called a timeout. 1st and 10 from the Bronco 42. Deepest penetration for either team. Back to throw Cooper. Getting a rush, rolling, throwing. It is almost intercepted. Incomplete. He was looking for Wilson. Coverage over there on the play by Gaskin, and he had to go right through his hands.
Boy, he sure did. Gaskin had great coverage there.
Well, and an ill-advised throw. You know, you're being chased, and he was trying to get rid of it to make sure that, you know, he didn't get the sack. But he's got to know that, you know, when you Western Union it like that, that the linebacker's going to be able to jump the route.
Yeah, I'm trying to understand why the Broncos are running the coverage they are against Cardell. They're playing him on the inside, and I don't understand why Cardell is not getting the call to go to the outside and stretch it up the field.
Yeah, especially after that last play when he did. And
now they're straight up on him.
2nd down and 10. Give Wilson. And he's hit right as he got to the line of scrimmage.
Well, I tell you
Good
what,
tackle right up at the front by Fisher.
You know what? And also, if Sammy's got the option to give the ball or keep it, he should have kept it there because there was nobody on the outside.
Surratt will come in for this play on 3rd down. Looks like they're going to call timeout. No, it's going to be the end of the quarter. Excuse me. 5 seconds left, and so first 12 minutes of football in the books. And we haven't had any scoring yet so far, but the Titans will have 3rd and 10 from the Bronco 42 when we come back. No score here from Titan Stadium on Titan Football, a presentation of Backboard Sports, Beck Bros Productions, and 810varsity.com.
Don't trust the biggest investment of your life to a part-time real estate agent. Trust the #1 team in Lee Summit and the entire state, the Rob Ellerman Team. The Rob Ellerman Team is the #1 real estate team in Missouri and number 12 nationally ranked in the U.S. with $1.5 billion in career sales. They are your real estate resource for buying or selling. They get you moving. Call anytime at 816-304-4434 or visit therobellermanteam.com. That's 816-304-4434.
Back out to Titan Stadium. Joel Becker and Coach Royce Bain as the Lee Summit West Titans and Lee Summit North Broncos in a defensive struggle so far.
Oh, a defensive battle.
No score as we start the 2nd quarter. The Titans with the deepest penetration of either team at the Bronco 42, 3rd and 10. Empty backfield for Cooper. He's been getting a rush, does again, throws near side. It is caught, but we got a flag in the backfield, I believe.
That's from the Whitehead, so that could be personal foul on
I thought they blew this dead before the play ever got going, that they whistled it before the catch.
Personal foul.
No, it's holding against the Titans.
Holding against the Titans.
So I guess it wasn't. The catch would have counted. Now, interestingly enough, that catch would have been short of a 1st down. But the holding is from the spot of the foul, and based on where the flag is, it would send them back to about their own 44 and set up a 3rd down and a ton, and the Broncos look like they're going to go ahead and take the penalty. Because that would have been an interesting call. You could have they probably would have gone for it on 4th down.
I think they would, especially if they did that in the middle of the field.
But you are giving the Titans offense another chance. Now the Titans, you'd think, need to start doing something to give Sammy a little more time to throw this football, because their front 6 have not been able to keep the Broncos' pass rush from getting to Cooper. They have Wilson in the backfield in the pistol right now. Twins on either side. Here they come, and they give it up the middle, and Wilson was caught at the line and hit for no gain. A good play by the linebacker, Zane Ragland. And it'll set up a 4th down and a punting situation, and the Titans now kicking into the wind, unlike last quarter. Questionable call there on 4th down and a ton. They obviously didn't think they were going to be able to give Cooper enough time to throw.
No, because like what you said, they were bringing the heat. They were bringing guys. Ooh.
Low snap, but plenty of time, and a nice kick by Cooper, high and deep, and it will bounce out of bounds inside the 20 at about the 15.
And the punt will roll out of bounds.
Maybe the 16. And it'll be 1st and 10 for the Broncos. Now, both teams have played very well on defense, so I guess the Titans could say, they're just playing field position at this point. Although I think they got kind of lucky with that punt.
I do too.
Into the wind. And Broncos did move the football, got a couple of 1st downs on their last possession, but stalled out around midfield. First and 10 from their own 16. Back to throw. And throwing on the far side, incomplete, as Perkins was looking for Mucky. And possible interception.
It was.
It'll be second down. We haven't seen the Broncos try and throw all that much. And certainly have not done it very effectively so far. Second down. Perkins with Mosey to his left. He'll give it up the middle. Mosey hit at the line and knocked back for a loss. Then we'll give him forward progress to probably the 15 or so. It's still going to be a loss, though, and set up a actually going to mark him back at the 14. Loss of 2 and third down and 12. And I tell you what, Wes Basil is having himself a game so far.
Very well.
Penetration wide a bit already.
Deep in their own territory, 12 yards to go.
I think I saw where Basil was one of the player of the games last week up at Staley.
I'd be okay with that.
That's the Titans.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
So it'll be 3rd and 12. We'll see if the Titans decide to bring any pressure here. And we're going to have a timeout called. Unless the flag came, I think they're going to get a delay of game call.
And they also
they got the timeout in.
Before, but also the Titans switched it up. Vinny went to a 3-man front.
Yeah, for that. At least 3 guys down. Sometimes they'll send that forth.
I think he was predicting that they'd possibly throw the football there.
I don't know, though. Having to burn that timeout, the play clock was down to nothing.
Yeah.
That's, I mean, it was right after a running play. It's not like you shouldn't have been able to get that play off in that time. So that's their first timeout, the first timeout of the game. 10-10 left to go. We've played minute 50 of this second quarter. Still no score in the game.
Well, Joel, I'll tell you what, that's one thing that happens when both teams run the football. The clock
goes quick.
That was the quickest first quarter we had. That was 22 minutes.
12 yards to go. It's third
with
down.
A 20-minute half.
I thought we got 15.
Oh, it is 15?
Yeah, I believe it is. All right, so 3rd and long. 3rd and about 12. Back to throw Perkins. They're coming at him with a rush. He'll throw over the middle. There is a man open and incomplete.
Dropped it. He was wide open.
Had him,
dropped it.
I wouldn't say wide open, but he was open. And
on,
that's
Joe.
more.
Give me a little break. He was out in front of that man.
And Cole got a hand on him, and right as he was getting to it. I think that may have had something to do with why he dropped it. That's the reason why I bring it up.
Rewind it.
Okay. I do wish we had replay.
I know. At least for us up here.
One of these days, we'll get that TriCaster out. And
maybe Mark Files is going to advance here pretty quick and get us a TV up here, rewind it, and
we'll see.
He's got his hand on his head.
We can team up with all the other cameras. High kick short. Takes, though, a Bronco bounce, goes out of bounds, but still good field position for the Titans. They'll start from their own 41. So the Titans been a little hot and cold on offense. They've had some positive gains and sometimes where they're going backwards. A lot of it having to do with the pass rush of the Broncos.
But Joel, you and I both know, it just takes one.
Yeah.
Just takes one.
Well, anybody watches Kansas City Chiefs football?
I know it.
Whew. It's going to be cold at Arrowhead on Sunday night.
Not for me.
He'll be wearing shorts.
I will be wearing shorts. Keeping the balls warm.
Won't be in Miami, huh?
No, they're on bye week.
He had a start last week, didn't he?
He started last week at right guard, had a really good game.
It's actually one of the best games of the year for Miami.
Yeah, it sure was.
Little delay as they get the right ball in and put things in play. Clock stopped with 9:57 left to go here in the first half. Titans 1st and 10 from their own 41. Pistol formation with Twins on the right. H back on the right as well. And it'll be Wilson on the give, nowhere to go.
Oh, I tell you what, there was a big scrum up there with the offensive line, and
they were pushed backwards.
They sure were. Wilson had nowhere to go.
Ended up losing 2, back to the 39. It'll be 2nd down and 12 from there. It's kind of interesting, just, from a defensive standpoint, pretty much most of the things the Titans are doing are the same things the Broncos are doing.
Right now they are.
2nd and 12 for the Titans from their own 39.
And I think we need to get away from that, don't you, Joel?
Well, I think the Titans have more weapons and a more balanced attack. Trying to set up a screen. Cardell with the catch. Good. Far side, near sideline, inside the 40. 35, breaks the tackle down toward the 30. There's your first big play.
There it is. Nice.
Trevor Cardell with the pitch and catch on the wide receiver screen.
Tell you what, great job of scheming right there. That offensive line, they blocked for 1,001, 1,002. Let that defensive line come through. And, man, those defensive line were thrown.
Well, and that was the difference, because the Broncos offense tried to do the same thing, and the difference was the Titans didn't come after them, and the play didn't work. Certainly did for the Titans. Empty backfield here for Cooper with a bunch on the right side, trying to set up again. He'll go with the wide draw. Is able to stay on his feet.
Oh, that's helmet to helmet.
Boy, knocked out of bounds as he got near the 20-yard line.
Did I see that wrong?
I thought so, but, the thing was, he was sort of coming. I don't think he was leading with his helmet, though. I do think they banged into each other.
I don't know. Every time I see a quarterback's helmet shake a little bit.
But what a play by Cooper, because, he was caught in the backfield and was hit and knocked down, but he actually used his hand to keep his balance. Knee never touched, and he was able to pick up 9 on the play. Kind of a weird formation was that last play. This one is a more standard. Twins on the right. And they'll throw that way, and it is knocked down. Good play defensively there by McGee. I guess I need to be more specific, because there are 3 McGees on this Broncos team. 2 of them are actually on the front 5. That was Jaden. Mark, who I'm guessing is a brother or cousin or something, because it's the same spelling.
Right.
He plays a defensive tackle. McGee is the other McGee's on the end. And then there's a third McGee who spells his name differently, who I believe plays offense, but I may be wrong. So it'll be 3rd down and 1. We'll see what the Titans do. They give it to Wilson. He broke one tackle, but
might have got to.
I think he got back to the line of scrimmage, but not enough for a first down. Titans may go for it here, though, with the ball on the 23. They need to get to the 21. It'll be 4th and a long 1 or a short 2. And, with the wind in their face and a 41-yard field goal looking at it, you pretty well have to go for it here.
I think you do.
What'll be interesting is whether or not they're going to try a standard run like that. I doubt it. I think you get Sammy moving around on this play. Wilson will move back into the pistol behind him. We'll see if they go option here. The Twins are to the right. And instead they give it right up the middle, and Wilson's not going to make it. There's a flag.
That's a holding.
Yeah, it's going to be against the Titans, so they'll be declined. But we'll get that officially.
I don't understand.
That's a chop block actually against the Titans. But I don't understand the call. Like I said,
I don't either. We just ran the ball. They stopped us, and then we run it again.
Well, and it's not even just that they just stopped us on the previous play. They've been stopping us all game. Right. We have not had any success, on a regular basis with that. Why? We've talked about this before. If 3rd or 4th and short, especially a 4th and short, why would you give yourself one option and one option only? When you've got a mobile quarterback like Sammy Cooper, you got a ton of targets. Yep. I would have probably, from that formation, I probably would have just run an option. Just run it to the right side.
Yep, or even a swing pass.
Yeah,
just to get on the edge.
But you want to give the quarterback more than one option to do something with the ball in that situation, and they didn't, and it didn't work. So Broncos will take over on downs at their own 27. Play clock's down to 4 as they come to the line. 2. They snap it, and the give up the middle, and it's Shaw who gets to the 31, a pickup of about 3, maybe let's call it 4.
Carry up the middle by number 6, Shaw.
It'll be 2nd down and 6.
4-yard gain on the run.
Under 8 minutes to go in the first half.
Second down and 6 from the
Game's
Broncos
flying
41.
by, but no scoring. As they come out with twins on either side. Perkins back to throw. He's looking left. He'll throw left. It is incomplete.
Nice
in and out of
shot.
the hands of Grayson Bell,
Pass is incomplete.
the tight end. Tall guy, but apparently not so good hands, at least not on that play.
No, and I tell you what, Glasgow did a great job of covering that and knocking the ball out.
And it'll set up a 3rd down and 6.
Second down and 6 for Lee Summit North.
Why would it be 2nd down? That was just an incomplete pass on 2nd down. Did something happen that I didn't see?
It's 3rd down, isn't it?
Why wouldn't it be 3rd down? The marker does say 2nd.
I know, but
Maybe that's what they're stopping the play on.
yeah.
This should be 3rd down. Yeah, there it goes. Now they're correcting it. That was strange.
That was.
Don't really see that very often. That was almost a backyard do-over.
I tell you what, though, Jeff Reed had it right.
Yeah.
That's why. Hey, no, that's why they keep calling you back.
So it is
down
3rd and
for the
6.
Broncos.
Broncos will come up. Shotgun formation. Back to throw Perkins. They'll throw left side. Open is the receiver. It is caught by Muckey down the far sideline. 1st and 10 Broncos at the Titan 31. Easily the farthest penetration here for the Broncos. And he got a step or two that time.
Nice play. Very nice play. The ball was well thrown.
Very well thrown and no pressure. That's the one real difference in this game, is that the Titans have a very formidable passing attack, but Sammy Cooper can't get any time to throw.
No, he can't.
The Broncos generally do not have a passing attack, but Perkins has had all day. Well, that looked offsides to me, by the way. But they'll give it to Mosey off left tackle. And nothing there. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Mosey with the carry.
Right around the 31. Was it my imagination, or did the guy coming to the line go across the scrimmage and then
Sure
come
did.
back?
He came back.
I didn't think you're allowed to do that in high school.
You're not.
You're not even allowed to do that in the pros.
No.
Defensively, you can in the pros, in NFL anyway.
1-yard gain on the run. Second down and 9 from the 30-yard line.
So they did give him up to the 30. We'll call it 2nd and 9. Clock down to 6:37 to go here in this first half. Broncos challenging. You don't know about their kicker, whether they're close to field goal range. On play action, throw in, and near side it's caught by Shaw. Up around the 20, hit and tackled. There is a flag down at the end of the play. Peck came from behind. I don't know if they're if it's some sort of targeting type
I
thing.
believe it is.
Complete to number 6,
But
Shaw.
in the location of it, that's what I would imagine it would have to be. Because I didn't see a horse collar or a face mask, and I don't know what else you could be calling. Unless they're calling the runner for lowering his helmet into the defender. Personal foul.
Oh.
No, it is against the Titans. Hit a blow to the head
Yep.
on the Titans. I think it was Peck that they called that on. I'm not positive, to be honest.
Personal foul against the Titans.
That'll cost them half the distance to the goal. It'll be 1st and goal from the 10-yard line.
Ball will be placed at the Titan 10-yard line. 1st and goal.
So they get the play going. Shotgun formation. Mosey to the left of Perkins. Takes the snap, gives to Mosey up the middle. Big hole into the end zone. Touchdown. Touchdown Broncos.
Got a flag.
There is a flag down, like you said, in holding territory. It's going to be a hold against the Broncos. Actually, 2 flags down in the same area from about the 8, so it should take them out to about the 18, 1st and goal. Actually, the second one's a towel and not a flag.
And it was pink.
Yeah. Well, it is Breast Cancer Awareness
Yes,
Month.
it is.
So it takes it out to the 17. It'll be 1st and goal from there You could say the Titans caught a break, but I think that was one of the reasons why he had such a big hole.
Yeah, their offensive line just kind of split us.
Yeah.
And that's the first time that he's been able to run like that.
Right.
Back him up to the 17-yard line.
So first and goal. We'll see if that turns out to be a drive killer here or not. They seem to have found a bit more of their passing game, though, on this drive. Twins on either side. Perkins will give Mosey, trying to go off a right guard. He's able to get up to the 15, but only a couple for the gain. It'll be second and goal from there. Titans looking for the strip.
Defensive line did a really nice job there of not allowing that offensive line to move.
Devin Force trying to get that strip. He was fighting for the ball.
He was.
2-yard gain on the carry. Second down and goal.
What a difference a week makes.
Oh, I know.
This time of the game last week was 20-0 off 3 turnovers. Second and goal from the 15, same formation. Well, actually, I take it back. They go with just 2. They try the fade into the end zone. Caught. Touchdown. Jaden Moore on the catch. And just a simple fade. And the cornerback on the route, who was cold, never got turned around, never saw it coming. 15-yard pitch and catch from Perkins to Moore. 6-0 for the Broncos. Extra point ready to go. DeRusse to kick it. Snap back. They get the ball down. And it is good. 5:22 to go here in this first half of play. The Broncos, the first team to get on the board. There is a flag down on this play. Let's check it. We'll see if this takes points off the board or not. The call is, 12 men on the field for the Broncos.
Nice.
So that'll cost them 5 yards, and they'll need to re-kick it. So that does take a point off the scoreboard for the time being. They'll set this up as if it were a 27-yard field goal. Jack Kemper, one of the backup quarterbacks, is the holder. Aaron Barnhill to snap. Snap back, they kick the ball down, the kick is up, and it is good.
And the extra point is good.
So, a couple of extra points, it's 7-0. 5:22 to go here in this first half. We'll be back with the kickoff coming up after this on Titan Football, a presentation of Backboard Sports, Beck Bros Productions, and 810varsity.com.
Gear up for Back to Sport at Academy Sports and Outdoors.
Score, this is one of those games where it was going to be which defense faltered first or which offense got going first. I think it was a little bit of both in that.
It was. But I tell you what, our coverage was not real stunning there.
DeRusse's kick, it will be taken by Coble. Right around the goal line, coming on the right side. He'll cut up at the 20, 25, and up to the 27-yard line.
Nice turn to the 27.
Brock Coble with the run.
Dig for the cure. There's a table set up at the north end of the Lissa West bleachers.
And the Titans left decent field position, and they need to get their offense on track here.
They need to open it up a little bit. I think Sterling's been very
conservative.
Very conservative right now.
October 8th.
I think it's been a little bit disconcerting for him the way that our offensive line is being manhandled right now.
And they are being manhandled.
And so I think it's taking him a little while to figure out how to deal with that. We'll see what they do here. On 1st and 10 from their own 27 with 5:14 left to go in the half. Titans will get the ball to start the second half as they deferred the coin toss. On play action, Cooper throws up the far sideline. DeRusso, great play. Just getting a hand on it was the quarterback, Mack. And DeJuan Mack just at the very last second with a leap. Otherwise, that's possibly 6 points.
Possibly 6 or a good 40.
Russo did have him beat.
He did.
And the throw was actually right on target.
He did have a little time to throw football, too.
Yeah. Second down and 10.
Second down and 10.
Titans come out in the pistol. One receiver on either side, H back to the right. It'll be on play action. Rolling to the left side, Cooper throwing, and it's intercepted. Picked off. This is going to be a pick 6. All the way into the end zone, touchdown as Dane Davis just jumped the route.
That was obvious.
Yeah.
Very obvious. I mean, that was just...
It was intended for Cardell. But again, we talked about it. When you sort of telegraph where you're going to go with it, it allows a cornerback to just wait for you to commit and then jump the route. And that's exactly what he did.
And Vinny right now is feeling what Staley felt last week.
DeRusso out for the extra point. Snap back, ball down, kick up, high, long, and it is good. 5 minutes exactly left to go in the first half. 2 quick scores, 22 seconds between them, and the Broncos lead it 14-0. Kickoff coming up after this on Titan Football, a presentation of Backport Sports, Beck Bros Productions, and 810varsity.com.
Cryotherapy is an amazing recovery tool for athletes at all levels, and Casey Cryo in Lee Summit has the latest technology for athletes to recover in a quick and natural way. 3 minutes and a state-of-the-art nitrogen-cooled cryo chamber helps aid muscle soreness, joint pain, raises energy levels, and more. Casey Cryo also offers Normatec compression therapy, which massages sore muscles and joints to get toxins and lactic acid flushed out. Recover quicker at Casey Cryo and Lee Summit, just off 50 Highway between Chipman and 3rd, next to Genesis.
Welcome back out here to Titan Stadium. Joel Becker, Coach Royce Boehm, Lee Summit West. All of a sudden, 2 touchdowns behind the Lee Summit North Broncos, 14-0, 5 minutes to go in the half. DeRusso with the ball teed up, I should say, just off the left hash mark at the 40-yard line, and he'll step into this one. Nice long kick will go well into the end zone, almost out of the back for a touchback.
Sure was.
Titans will have 1st and 10 from the 20, and the story in this game right now, anyway, is an impressive secondary right now for the Broncos, and not so impressive for the Titans.
No, and our receivers right now, I don't know. It's I guess their secondary, Broncos secondary, is just calling the right coverage at the right time. But again, though, we've got guys that are open, and they're making good plays on us.
Yep, and of course, a pretty good pass rush has helped as well. Although that really wasn't a factor in that last play, although they did have somewhat of a rush. Surratt in the backfield, now Milton in motion, and it'll be an option, and Cooper keeps it and gets tackled as he got to the line of scrimmage. Pickup of maybe half a yard on the play, 2nd down, a long 9. Not sure if I thought that was the right decision or not, to be honest. It's an option play. He had Wilson with him, as well as Surratt. He comes out, Surratt that is, and McEntee comes in. They got 4 guys out wide on the left to start this formation. 1 man on the right. Empty backfield for Cooper on 2nd down and 9. Now Wilson goes into the backfield. And back to throw. Throws over the middle. It is caught Baggett. He lost the football, and they're going to call it incomplete. I think the Titans caught a break there.
Big time break.
Because he caught that ball and took at least 2 steps.
Absolutely.
Before he lost it. I thought that was a fumble. They made the call quickly, and of course in high school you don't have the possibility of an overturn or review. But I do believe that one should have been a catch and a fumble. It's a good play until he dropped it. 3rd down and 9. Titans go with twins on the right, 1 man on the left. H back to the right and Wilson in the backfield. We'll see if they run it here. They play action, and they'll throw down on the sideline looking for Cardell. He comes back and it's incomplete. There was a little bit of hand fighting there as Davis was on the coverage. There was double coverage as well as the safety Hodge came over as well, but the throw was probably not catchable. It was out of bounds. He was trying to go for that back shoulder throw, I think. And it was not, I mean, it was to the back shoulder. It just was not
Man, but I thought as soon as
target.
he stopped, though, they started pulling on him.
Yeah, there was contact. Cooper standing at his own 6 for the punt here. High snap, but he pulls it down. He'll step into it, kind of rugby style. Nice kick, far kick, and a fair catch called for and made by Davis at his own 37, 38. And the Broncos that have scored 14 points here in the last minute and a half will get the football. One was on a drive where they looked pretty good in the air as much as on the ground, and the other on a pick 6. 4 minutes left to go in the half.
Tough break there, Joel.
Titans need a turnover. We don't have to get one. It's only 14-0. It's still first half, but that would certainly swing the momentum if they could get it. Twins on the left. And it'll be a give. Mosey looking left tackle. He's got a hole this time. Got into the second level, taken down by Fredrickson as he got up to the 44.
Tackle made by number 1, Shane Fredrickson.
It'll be second down and about 4 from there.
Well, I'll tell you what, Joel, another rule that keeps changing from each level, high school through the pros, is that the cut block on the front line.
Mm-hmm.
And North is cutting us a lot.
4 down linemen for the Titans as they give to Mosey again, same left side. A little better coverage this time, still positive yardage. Got about 3, needed 4, so it'll be third and about 1. With the ball just shy of the 47, they need to get to the 48. Clock coming up on 3 minutes left to go in the first half.
It's third down.
We'll see if the Titans commit to the run stop here or not. At least at the beginning, they're just going with their standard vanilla defense at the moment. They do give it to Mosey, left side. Oh, Forrest made a good play to break it up, but Mosey able to break through it and get a first down. There is a player down for the Broncos. That's Hutto, who is slow in getting up. Being helped up. And I believe they are going to get the trainers on the field here. Stopping the clock with 2:42 left to go. So Devin Forrest did a good job of breaking that play up, or it could have gone for more. But Mosey did get the first down. 2:42 to go in the first half. Coming up at halftime. Mark Files will have some halftime numbers for you, and whatever else he does at halftime, I don't know. And he'll have the royalty for you as well. They're going to announce the court? Okay. Are you allowed to do that anymore? So Hutto is going to walk off under his own power. And we'll have a 1st and 10 here coming up for the Broncos. I don't know why they allow him to huddle up like this. I mean, I know it was an injury timeout, but yeah, both teams did it.
Again, high school rules change every year. So I remember that they couldn't even come past the hash.
So the clock gets going, 2:40 and counting now. 1st and 10 from their own 49. Perkins back to throw. He was looking for a swing pass, got it out on the underside. Oh, and a toss forward. That's obviously illegal. About 3 flags came out. I love the fans. You could kind of hear them on the crowd like screaming about it, as if the officials were just going to allow that to happen.
Was he trying to be a Tony or Travis Kelce?
Could be, except he forgot which direction he was going. So it's an illegal forward pass. There was also a holding call and an illegal forward pass. Now, I think the illegal forward pass, they'll probably take the hold because it's from much further back. But they're talking it over with Careswell because the illegal forward pass would also, I believe, include a loss of down.
Right.
And so you would have the penalty. It would be back around the 40, and it'd be second down and roughly 19. Or you could take the holding call, and it would stay first down, but it'd be about first down in about 27 or so, based on where that flag is. So it's an interesting decision here for Coach Careswell. I imagine his first question is, can I get both?
Yeah.
They're having the discussion, explaining his options to him, it looks like. And now, Mr. Hill. Illegal forward pass is the one that was declined, so they're going to take the holding penalty and push them back further. So it'll stay first down, but it's going to push them back to about their own 32 and set up a first down and, let's see, 10, 27, 28. That was pretty close.
Yeah, very good.
That's a hard question on that as to which is the better pass. But I don't have a problem with what
I would
he
have
did.
loved to hear Hill's
explanation
of that.
Empty backfield for Perkins. Now he gets a man in motion, Shaw, and they'll give it to him on the jet sweep. Trying to go around left side. He's hit and tackled as he got across the 35 to about the 37. Pickup of maybe 5, but it's still going to set up a second down about 22. Clock running with coming up on 2 minutes to go in the half.
In on the tackle.
So second down. The guy who did the yard marker, there he goes. He finally switched it over to second.
Ball placed at the 38-yard line. Second down.
So second and a ton. Got twins on either side. Now actually a third guy on the right side. Man in motion is Mosey. They'll give it to him on the jet sweep. Trying to cut up. He is met at the line, pushed forward for about 3 across the 40. Looks like they gave him the 42. And it'll set up a third down.
Carry to the right
and
side.
let's see, about 18 or so. Maybe let's call it 17. A minute 10 left to go. Titans have all 3 of their timeouts, but they're allowing the clock to run down while the Broncos have the football.
17 yards to go. It's third down.
I would imagine if they can stop them here, they'll call a timeout.
I hope they do.
Not so sure it wouldn't have been a good idea to do it now.
Yeah, it kind of looks like Broncos want to get out of here.
Back to throw Perkins. He's getting a rush. He'll throw on the left side. He's got a man open, and it is caught. Shaw on the wheel route at the 32 of the Titans, 1st and 10. And I guess that's why they didn't call timeout. They were worried about that happening. Clock stopped to move the chains with 39.8 seconds.
And as we saw, they got a pretty good field goal kicker.
And they do have 2 timeouts, and I believe they're going to use one of them. Broncos call it a timeout with 39.8 seconds. Boy, on 3rd and 17, you really just can't allow a play like that, can you?
In the half, Lissa will take their second timeout. 1 remaining.
Shaw came from a slot, but it was kind of a wheel route, coming around the end.
We got somebody hurt.
I think they just called timeout.
Susie Humphries is running out there. Oh, Shane Frederickson, shoulder.
Okay.
Stinger, looks like.
Yeah.
And if they attend to him, they got to pull him. But again, though, it's only timeout, though.
I was going to say during a timeout, I think they're okay.
Fine, yeah.
I think so that's why she waited to come out.
Right. And you can tell he's favoring it, though.
1st and 10 for the Broncos. Ball at the Titan 32. Lee Summit North on top, 14-0. Back to throw Perkins. Now he's getting a rush. He throws over the middle. It's intercepted. Picked up by the Titans in Glasgow. Coming up the near sideline, hit as he got to about the 22 and taken down. First turnover there. Now there's a flag at the very end of the play.
Down on the play.
Titans with their first turnover. Let's see what the call is.
Interception.
If it's gonna be a personal foul, a face mask against the Broncos on the tackle apparently. So that'll add 15 yards.
Against the Broncos.
And the Titans will have it at about their own 37 or so. With half a minute to go in the half and all three of their timeouts. So Glasgow with the pick. And that time the Titans brought pressure, and that may have led to that interception.
Yes. They didn't give him much time to throw the football, forced him.
And that's what he did. He tried to force it. And just a little too easy there in center field. Pistol formation, trips on the right for the Titans. Cooper. He'll give it up the middle. Wilson with a bunch of running room right up the middle, hitting tackle as he got to midfield. Titans should have taken a timeout there because they've got all three, but they haven't. They're stopping the clock to move the chains, of course.
Joel, on that interception, I believe that was Jerome Grace.
By number 22.
Grayson, not.
Okay.
So that's 6 and 8. That's always hard to tell.
I know, and 9.
And 9. All right, back to, and again, up the middle is Wilson. He was hit and got up the middle. Now you need to call a timeout. They do. With 10 seconds left to go. Well, the question is, why didn't they call it immediately?
I know.
10.2
it was pretty close.
Remaining in the half. Lee Summit West will take a timeout.
But, you know, you have all three. There was no need to hang on to them at that point.
No, it wasn't.
They're not in field goal range. So you're going to have to try and, you know, heave one down. They may not have time for more than one play. Probably they have two. But you're not going to throw it, you're not going to throw a sideline play here to set up a field goal.
No.
You know, the only reason why you would throw a sideline play would be to get it in range for a Hail Mary. If you don't think, if you don't think Cooper can make it from here.
Yes.
Or you don't think that he'll have the time to wait for it to.
Well, and most definitely now, the Broncos are not giving Cardell any time whatsoever to run his routes and get open.
Right, and so, you know, from here, from the 45, it's going to take 2 or 3 seconds, 4 seconds before he'd be able to throw the ball. If you threw one, say a 10-yard out route, you might have another, an opportunity to let it go a little earlier. We'll see what they do here.
A little trickery.
Come out quickly, back to throw, over the middle. They've got Cardell. He makes the catch. You need to get a timeout. And he's trying to call timeout. Now, they do stop the clock. It ran a good second or so. Now, it'll be academic, though. The funny thing was that Cardell was trying to call timeout while he was still, while the play was still going on. He needed to take a knee and call timeout.
Yeah, but they wouldn't let him down.
No.
And pass and catch good for Lee Summit West. First down.
So the good news is that, there probably should be about 3 seconds on the clock instead of 1.4, but it doesn't matter. Because you're not going to be able to get more than one play off anyway.
You've got to go.
Yeah, you got to go into the end zone
Hail Mary.
Because, it'd be a 50-yard field goal, about 49, 48 from here. And unless they're going to let Harrison Butker come over here, it's just not going to happen.
No doubt.
I mean, Stewart's a good kicker, but into the wind is just not.
That's 3 seconds remain in half.
They did reset the clock to 3 seconds, by the way, which is about right. And that should, like I said, give Cooper a little bit more time or a little bit of a better opportunity to at least get one into the end zone.
Hopefully they give him some time here to get the ball down the field.
It's funny because at first I thought Cardell was looking to lateral it.
Yeah, honestly, I thought the same thing.
Yeah, but he was really looking just to
heave it.
Into the end zone on the Hail Mary, and it'll be intercepted. Intercepted in the end zone.
That'll take us into half
by Hunter Ross, and that takes us to the half. The Broncos with the only points in the game. They lead at 14-0. Mark Files will join you at halftime. We'll see if the Titans can't come up with a different second half. Halftime coming up after this on Titan Football, a presentation of Backboard Sports, Beck Bros Productions, and 810varsity.com.
When it comes to painting the exterior or interior of your home, the decision is easy. Unique Painting, voted best in the Northland for 2 years running in 2018 and 2019. Unique Painting focuses on customers' needs and offers competitive pricing, going the extra mile to make sure customers are completely satisfied. In fact, when 810 Varsity needed a paint job this year, Unique Painting was the only phone call made. Visit anytime at uniquepaintingkc.com or call today at 816-500-7759. That's uniquepaintingkc.com, a proud supporter of 810 Varsity and Metro High School athletics.
Whether it's a car accident, storm damage, or a fire, when the unthinkable happens, it doesn't matter if you saved money in 15 minutes. In this moment, it doesn't matter if your neighbor has the same insurance you do. In this moment, what matters is that your independent insurance agent and the company that stands behind them have you covered. Auto Owners Insurance, the no-problem people. Visit Briar Payne Mead Insurance in Kansas City today at bpminsurance.com or call 913-402-9576. That's 913-402-9576 and ask about Auto Owners Insurance today.
High school sports fans, check this out. 810varsity.com now brings live video game casts for more than 25 KC Metro schools all season long. Now you can watch and listen to the games live on your computer, iPad, or phone. Park Hill South, Miege, Aquinas, the Olathe and Blue Valley schools, and the list goes on and on. Plus, live scores, playoff brackets, rankings, and more. Get all the games live at 810varsity.com.
When it comes to SUVs, nothing beats Honda. U.S. News & World Report's best SUV brand 4 years in a row, including the 2019 Honda Pilot, one of the millions of Hondas built here in America since 1982. Or the 2019 CR-V, a crossover car and driver calls a better value than the RAV4. And
welcome back to homecoming here at Lee Summit West campus at the Titan Stadium, where the visitors, the Broncos from Lee Summit North, are up 14-0 over the home Titans. Right now we've got the camera on the field, the marching band, and also the color guard. The flag squad is getting ready for the halftime festivities of announcing the court. In the meantime, the coach has got the stats for the first half in front of him. What do you see that you like? What don't you like?
Well, I'll tell you what, right now, it started off being a great defensive battle, and then all of a sudden we got a little loose on our coverage with a couple guys, and they took advantage of it and got the ball down the field and got the ball in the end zone.
And the kids are loose on the coverage in the secondary because they got their eyes on the backfield. They got lulled asleep on those jet sweeps.
And also, their offensive line, the Broncos' offensive line, is giving him time to throw the football.
You bet.
Whereas on the other side, Sammy's having a hard time getting the ball off.
That's right.
And they're not just they're double, triple covering our receivers. And I don't know. It's very obvious right now because it had a little feeling of a Staley game for us.
Yes.
As the game progressed there in the second quarter. But right now, on some team stats, the total offense, Lee Summit North has 152 yards and Lee Summit West only has 95. That is very lopsided for the Lee Summit West Tigers.
Coach, we're going to hold those numbers and we're going to let folks enjoy the halftime festivities, and that way they can meet all the kids, and
very good.
And we'll make sure we get it covered for them.
Our next freshman attendant is Hayden Peters. Hayden writes for the Titan Scroll, plays tennis, and is a member of the Student Senate and Titan Harmony. She's also a captain of the freshman cheerleading squad. Hayden is being escorted by Mindy and Chris Peters. Our next freshman attendant is Leo Kuros. Leo swims for the Titans and is in men's choir. He's being escorted by Rebecca Sampson and Nick Kuros. Our last freshman attendant is Jaden Russell. Jaden runs cross country for the Titans and is a member of the German club. He's being escorted by Heather and Kimo Russell. Our first sophomore attendant is Rita Pham. Rita is the vice president of Hungry Free KC and is also involved in varsity debate, student senate, National Honor Chinese Society, UNICEF, Titan Harmony, and Youth and Government. She is being escorted by Henry Liu. Our next sophomore attendant is Emery Thurmond. Emery is a member of the Wind Ensemble, Women's Choir, Titan Harmony, French Honor Society, Titan Student Fellowship, French Club, Pit Orchestra, and Marching Band. She's being escorted by Angie and Clifton Thurmond. Our next sophomore attendant is Grant Hobius. Grant runs cross country and track for the Titans. He's being escorted by Jen Cooper and Jeff Hobius. Our last sophomore attendant is Ethan Smith. Ethan is in theater, choir, and Titan Harmony here at West. He is being escorted by Stephanie Henry and Scott Smith. This year's first junior attendant is Sydney Banks. Sydney runs track for the Titans, is a varsity cheerleader, and is also a Titan ambassador. She is being escorted by Dana Lyons and Christopher Banks. Our next junior attendant is Chloe Carmen. Chloe is a varsity cheerleader and a member of the French Honor Society. She is being escorted by Beth and Bud Carmen. Our next junior attendant is Graham Hayes. Graham plays lacrosse and is a member of DECA, FBLA, and 12th Man. He is being escorted by Honey and Jason Hayes. Our last junior attendant is Connor Kelly Wright. Connor is a member of choir, Una Voce, repertory theater, and is the secretary of the West Side Stage. He is being escorted by Mary and Chris Kelly. Our first Queen candidate is Mckenna Butler. Mckenna runs cross country and track for the Titans. She is also a member of the swim team, Student Senate, and NHS. Her favorite memory from high school was running at the New Balance Nationals on the first team in Missouri history to break 9 minutes in the 4x800 meter relay to earn an All-American title. Next year, she plans on attending a university to run and major in biomedical engineering. Mckenna is being escorted by Michelle and Chris Butler. Our next Queen candidate is Maddie Greider. Maddie is a varsity cheer captain and is a member of Chamber Orchestra, Titan Ambassadors, NHS, and Student Senate. Her favorite memory from high school is winning regionals as an entire cheer program sophomore year. Next year, she plans on attending college to major in ministry and graphic design. Maddie is being escorted by Lissa and Chris Greider. Our next Queen candidate is Brynisha Griffin Bay. Brynisha is a part of the Titan Pride Marching Band, Concert Choir, the Theater Department, and the Teachers Academy. Her favorite high school memory is spending New Year's Day in Orlando with her band and choir friends. Next year, Brynisha plans on attending a university in Missouri to major in music education. She is being escorted by her grandmother, Rosa Thompson, and her father, Bryant Griffin Bay. Our next Queen candidate is Ellie Russell. Ellie is an IB diploma candidate, a drum major in the marching band, a debate captain, the president of French Club, an executive officer in NHS, and she's also in book club and French Honor Society. Her favorite memory from high school is spending New Year's in Orlando with the marching band. Next year, Ellie plans on attending college to get a degree in history. She's being escorted by Michael and Rachel Russell. Our last Queen candidate is Savannah Wheeler. Savannah is a varsity cheerleader and is a member of NHS. Her favorite memory from high school was when JV and varsity cheer both won first place at regionals her sophomore year. Next year, she plans to attend UCM to major in special education with the goal of teaching special ed in the high school setting. Savannah is being escorted by Andrea and Jeff Smith. Our first King candidate is Wesley Basil. Wesley is a member of the Student Athletics Activities Committee and a varsity football captain. His favorite memory from high school is getting to be with his friends every day and playing football on Fridays. Next year, he plans on attending a 4-year university and is undecided on a major. The next King candidate is Will Carroll. Will is a member of DECA and NHS. He is also a captain for the cross country and track teams His favorite memory from his time at West was hanging out with Travis Jones, Mason Williams, Zach Calder, and Dawson Gully. Next year, he plans to run cross country and track in college and study finance. Will is being escorted by Danielle and Rich Carroll. Our next King candidate is Evan Donaher. Evan runs cross country and track for the Titans. He's also a member of NHS, Chinese National Honor Society, the archery team, and is the UNICEF fundraising coordinator. His favorite memory from his time at West was taking the girl of his dreams to prom last year. Next year, he plans to study mechanical engineering at the University of Missouri. Evan is being escorted by Kimberly and Leonard Donaher. The next King candidate is Trevor Parnell. Trevor is a member of DECA, Future Business Leaders of America, and Student Activities Athletic Committee. He also plays baseball and is varsity captain of the football team. His favorite memory from high school was taking care of the baseball field all day with the guys when they held districts. Next year, he plans to attend the University of Kansas and study business and play football and baseball. Trevor's being escorted by Jill and Kevin Cardell. Our last King candidate is Tucker Thompson. Tucker is the news producer and line editor of Titan Television, vice president of Student Senate, concert master of chamber orchestra, and first chair violinist of Philharmonic Orchestra. He is also a member of NHS, National Art Honor Society, FBLA, Archery, Titan Ambassadors, and Web Design. His favorite memory from high school was winning trivia night with his friends at the fourth state broadcasting convention junior year. They started the final round in 5th place, only to make the biggest comeback of the night with a perfect score. Next year, he plans on attending college to major in broadcast journalism to become a news anchor. Tucker is being escorted by Jody and Scott Thompson. This afternoon at the Assembly, we crown Trevor Cardell as the 2019 Homecoming King. Before we crown our Homecoming Queen tonight, we have a very special guest to introduce. Our 2019 Homecoming Princess is Miss Harper Gwynn. Harper is a 9-year-old 3rd grader at Hawthorne Hill Elementary. She was born with a rare genetic condition known as osteogenesis imperfecta, which is sometimes called brittle bone disease. Harper's parents painted a grim picture of what her life would look like before she was born. However, she has been defying those odds ever since. Harper has had 3 major surgeries in her young life, the most recent being this past summer, and has suffered from many fractured bones, but she hasn't let that stop her. In addition to the challenges she faces daily, she's also accomplished many things, including running on the beach at 16 months of age, dancing competitively for 4 years, and amazing her parents and family daily. Harper is a delightful girl who loves expressing her creativity through dancing, acting, playing Roblox, and making TikTok videos. You also may have even seen her perform with the Tiny Titans at our last home football game. An excellent student, Harper participates in the AIM Gifted program at her school and says when she grows up, she wants to be an engineer. Harper's family is grateful for all the joy she brings to their lives, and they certainly wouldn't change a thing about it. The whole family is thrilled to be here and share in this special moment with her as she is crowned the 2019 Lee Summit West Homecoming Princess. Please stand and give Harper a round of applause. Now, will the Queen candidates please step forward? Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to announce the 2019 Lee Summit West Homecoming Queen, Savannah Wheeler.
There you have it. Savannah Wheeler and Trevor Cardell were both named the Homecoming Queen and King for this year, and you got to see the princess that was also crowned. We are going to take a quick break, and we will be back with a presentation of Back Porch Sports, Beckboats Productions, and 810varsity.com.
Today is a new day. A day we've been waiting for our whole lives. We've put in the work to get to this moment, to have this opportunity to come together as a team. Everyone knows KC is on the rise, but what they don't know is we're just getting started. Community America, powering the rise of Kansas City.
Welcome back to halftime, where the Titans are down 14-0 to the visitors, the Broncos from Lee Summit North. Coach has got a few more stats here, and then we're going to talk about keys to the game, and then we'll bring Joel back, and he and the coach will bring you home in the second half and hopefully get us a W.
You know, I was talking about total offense, North having 152, Lee Summit West having 95. The passing is what gets me too. 105 for Lee Summit North, who is a running team, 49 yards for the Titans, who is a major passing team. Very lopsided. Rushing for both teams, 47 for Lee Summit North, 46 for the Titans. Again, that's what's telling you right now. Up front, both front seven on both defenses are playing very well right now.
What hurts is the interception. That's big right now. That gives you that 14-point spread. Now, let's talk about keys to the game coming in the second half. Titans get the ball started. What kind of adjustments do you think they were making with the offensive line?
Well, that's just it. They've got to make major adjustments right there.
Is it the blocking scheme, or are they just getting manhandled?
You know what? Right now, it looks like they're getting manhandled to me. Now we'll see what Chris Barrows and Sterling come together with here this second half and put together.
Well, and again, we talked about the offense. Defensively, I think both teams are playing very well.
Very well.
And we get our secondary to stop looking in the backfield, watch the responsibilities, pass first, run second, get that jet sweep. We got a new ball game.
No doubt there. No doubt there.
All right, folks, go ahead.
And like I said, it was no lie. I mean, Broncos do two things on the run.
Jet sweep.
And
Mosey up the middle, and zone up the middle. All right, folks, you've heard it. When we come back, we'll have Joel and the coach to bring you all the second half action. It's a 14-0 ball game. The Titans are down. You're listening to a presentation of Back Porch Sports, Beckboat Productions, and 810varsity.com.
Don't trust the biggest investment of your life to a part-time real estate agent. Trust the #1 team in Lee Summit and the entire state, the Rob Ellerman Team. The Rob Ellerman Team is the #1 real estate team in Missouri and number 12 nationally ranked in the U.S. with $1.5 billion in career sales. They are your real estate resource for buying or selling. They get you moving. Call anytime at 816-304-4434 or visit therobbellermanteam.com. That's 816-304-4434 or anytime online. The Rob Ellerman Team, a proud supporter of Lee Summit area high school athletics.
Gear up for back to sport at Academy Sports and Outdoors.
Cryotherapy is an amazing recovery tool for athletes at all levels, and KC Cryo in Lee Summit has the latest technology for athletes to recover in a quick and natural way. 3 minutes and a state-of-the-art nitrogen-cooled cryo chamber helps aid muscle soreness, joint pain, raises energy levels, and more. KC Cryo also offers Normatec compression therapy, which massages sore muscles and joints to get toxins and lactic acid flushed out. Recover quicker at KC Cryo and Lee Summit, just off 50 Highway between Chipman and 3rd, next to Genesis.
When it comes to painting the exterior or interior of your home, the decision is easy. Unique Painting, voted best in the Northland for 2 years running in 2018 and 2019. Unique Painting focuses on customers' needs and offers competitive pricing, going the extra mile to make sure customers are completely satisfied. In fact, when 810 Varsity needed a paint job this year, Unique Painting was the only phone call made. Visit anytime at uniquepaintingkc.com or call today at 816-500-7759. That's uniquepaintingkc.com, a proud supporter of 810 Varsity and Metro High School athletics.
Welcome back live here at Titan Stadium. Joel Becker, Coach Royce Bame, Lee Summit West, Lee Summit North, and the Broncos with the only scoring in that first half, and they lead it as we get ready to go for half number 2. 14-0 our score. Titans had won the toss and deferred, so they will get the ball to start things off here in this second half.
Joel, it's going to be very interesting to see what Sterling comes out with here.
Dean DeRoos ready to kick it off to Coble and Wilson. And the kick is high and deep and into the end zone. Interesting that right now there's not really a whole lot of wind, but what there was last half anyway, the Broncos decided to go with the wind for the third. So they want to pour it on here apparently.
We're about to announce our 50-50 rapid.
Or at least try to.
Go ahead and get your tickets.
Taking a look to see a bit of a surprise here. Not too much of one, but a little bit. Bishop Miege has a lead over Rockhurst, 13-7.
I tell you what, Rockhurst took one on the lip last week to Blue Valley.
0-9. Come on up.
All right, so let's see what the Titans do. 1st and 10 from their own 20, second half, trailing 14-0. And it will be Cooper on the run pass option, throwing over the middle, and it's going to go for 6. Into the end zone, Baggett, touchdown. A little trickery to start things off. Sterling pulls one out of the hat, and the Titans strike. Get themselves on the board, 14-6 with the extra point to come. So a little razzle-dazzle there on the run-pass option, and boy, did they bite on it.
That was nice. Very good job. Very well set up.
Well, you know, one thing that I think that the Titans have probably and the coaching staff noticed in that first half, and we talked about it, the one, you know, the screen we set up they bid on and whatnot, they're an aggressive defense.
They're very aggressive.
And so that is one of the susceptibilities to aggressive defense, as Stewart's kick is
that was
up.
ugly.
And it did manage to make it, though. Didn't quite get a perfect kick, but it worked. So we've played all of 13 seconds here of the second half. And the Titans get themselves on the boards, cut the lead in half, 14-7 our score. Back with a kickoff after this on Titan Football, a presentation of Backport Sports, Beck Bros Productions, and 810varsity.com.
Whether it's a car accident, storm damage, or a fire, when the unthinkable happens, it doesn't matter if you saved money in 15 minutes. In this moment, it doesn't matter if your neighbor has the same insurance you do. In this moment, what matters is that your independent insurance agent and the company that stands behind them have you covered. Auto Owners Insurance, the no-problem people. Visit Briar Payne Mead Insurance in Kansas City today at bpminsurance.com or call 913-402-9576. That's 913-402-9576 and ask about Auto Owners Insurance today.
So,
from the first half.
And a good way to start, but we'll see whether or not they can keep it up and build on it as Stewart has the ball teed up halfway between the center mark and the left hash mark. Kicking into the wind.
Joel, do you get scared me standing behind you?
No.
Okay.
Squib kick, and it goes off of an up man. It is fielded at the 15, and Mosey with the big burst up the middle, and he'll get to the 35 before he's hit and tackled. Do you think these officials realize that it's not the distance you slide? Because, I mean, he was clearly down at the 35-yard line, and they're marking him at the 36. And that's not even close to being, you know.
No.
Like I said, he was down at the 30, slid about 2 yards, and they gave him about half the slide.
Hey, it's the NFL.
Yeah. Anyway, 1st and 10 for the Broncos. Still with a 14-7 lead, and the give Mosey going right tackle. He was caught from behind Glasgow, and that time I did clearly see the 8.
Tackle made by number 92, Wesley Basil.
And it'll be second down, about 8.
8-yard gain on the play. Brings up second down and 8.
So the Titans started off with a pretty stingy defense, and the last couple of drives of the half, their secondary was really touched up. We'll see what kind of changes they make here. As a give again for Mosey, this time the left side. And he gets across the 40 up to about the 44. It's going to be shy of a first down by maybe 2.
Well, I'm sure Vinny straighten that secondary out, make sure that their eyes don't stay in the backfield and do a better job of protection.
Well, they need to get a little bit more of a pass rush, too.
Yes, they do.
Third down.
3rd down and 2.
I don't see much rush coming off the edge.
It's going to be a give, and this time Shaw, and he'll get that 1st down as he gets up to the Titan 49 across midfield, 1st and 10.
Run to the right side by number 6, Miles
We've played
Shaw.
a minute and a half here of this 3rd quarter. Titans striking on the first play from scrimmage, an 80-yard pitch and catch from Sammy Cooper to Baggett. And the Broncos trying to answer right now, 1st and 10 in Titan territory. They come out in their standard formation. It'll be a give to Shaw, off left tackle, big hole, and he's taken into the secondary.
I tell you, running that zone right there, Joel, that gives that running back an option to pick whichever hole he wants to come through. Looks like he's limping off too.
So Grace made the tackle, a good open field tackle like you mentioned. Shaw is limping off, but they still have Mosey, who has done most of their running anyway. 1st and 10 at the Titan 35. Mosey in the backfield to the left of Perkins. Single wide receivers on either side. Give Mosey up the middle. He was able to elude the first initial contact right up the middle, but was taken down after a gain of a couple. It'll be 2nd and 8 for the Broncos at the Titan 33.
2-yard gain on the run, 2nd down and 8.
It is starting to get chilly out there, I'll say that.
It is. I tell you what, it beats the hell out of sweating.
Play clock down to 10 as they come up to the line. Perkins back to throw, looking left side, and now he's going to roll to the left side. He's going to run. He goes for the sideline, chased out by Peck.
Got a flag.
Got right around to the line of scrimmage. The
to the left side.
flag is in the secondary in defensive holding territory.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Flag down on the far side of the field.
That play was intended to go that direction. And Perkins didn't like what he saw at first, but
It looked like he was trying to do a little short, little out and up.
And it is defensive holding
against the Titans,
which will cost him 10 yards and a 1st down. So it'll be 1st and 10 after the penalty just outside the red zone, right around the 23 or so.
Well, I tell you what, this isn't what the Titans were needing right here. They were needing a 3 and out, and let's get the ball back in the offense's hand.
Well, we'll see if the defense can stiffen up here. They've allowed points. And it is a give. Shaw, who's back in the game up the middle, gets to the 20, pick up a 4, 2nd down and 6.
Run up the middle, tackle made at the 20-yard line. 4-yard gain, 2nd down and 6.
Clock running with 8.5 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. 14-7, Broncos on top. Play clock down to 13. Man in motion. Thought I saw movement up front, but they didn't call anything.
Yeah,
there
it
was
looks
again.
like a left tackle.
Twice he did. He flinched.
And again.
Yeah. They're just not calling that. Now all of a sudden, they blow everything dead.
Can you not move?
It's a delay of game call.
Delay game against the Broncos.
He flinched like 4 times.
Oh, I know.
And they didn't call it at all. And then they called delay. And how do you not snap the ball?
How do you not call that, especially when the white hat is looking right to the
I know.
quarterback?
Well, I mean, you got... I mean, there's people whose only job it is to look down the line and,
Right.
you know, for movement. At any rate, after the penalty, be 2nd and 11. That was an illegal shift, but they're not calling it. Now it's going to be intercepted. Cahill. He's hitting tackle as he got back to the 11-yard line. Good job that time getting his head around.
That was big. And I was afraid that those two were going to run into each other right there, Joel.
Intended for more, and yeah, the two Titan defenders, you mean. Because he did have, he threw it into double coverage, and he underthrew it. So even if they had called the illegal shift that was there, they would have just declined it anyway. Now we've got a Titan player down. Maybe Cahill from the location of him, I don't know.
Yeah, I think it was Cahill. He was standing on the ground there a little longer.
Yeah. Looks like he may have a cramp, just based on the way they're attending to him.
In this weather?
It can happen.
I know it. Stop, Joel.
I could get one.
But yours would be a brain cramp.
Well, I've already had one of those. I get the other kind, too. And it is Cahill, and he is limping. But it could be a knee or an ankle, but it may also be, sometimes when you come up from a calf cramp, you also limp like that, too. So
yeah, something that we've been hearing in the coaches' conversation at the beginning of the show is something that we rarely hear of.
No injuries.
No injuries, yeah. Exactly.
Especially week 5.
I know. Week 6.
Yeah, this is 6, but
right.
After, 5 weeks. All right, from the pistol on the turnover, it is going to be Cooper on the play action. He'll roll, he'll run. Comes up the middle, hit
good job.
As he get across the 20, and it's going to be good for an 11-yard gain, first and 10 Titans.
I like to see that Sterling open it up now.
Nice
run. Well, and more importantly, he's putting more in the hands of his quarterback, which, like I said, I think he's proven the last, after the first week. Let's be, clear. The first week he was shaky.
Oh, yeah.
Ever since then, though, he has really proven himself. As this is blown dead. There was a flag down. I think there's going to be a pre-play. Yeah.
Flag down on the near side.
I believe this is a pre-play foul, a false start on the Titans.
Oh, there he is. Gee.
And yeah, it is a false start, so it'll cost him.
I tell you what, he doesn't like to move very much, does he?
No. I don't know. He actually went about 10 yards back.
Where he's supposed to be.
So, first and 15 after the penalty puts them back behind their own 20. But yeah, like I said, I think that Sammy's proven that you can put a lot on his shoulders, and he can make good decisions. And the last 2 plays, he made good ones. Here he is on the option. That time he probably didn't make the best decision.
No, it wasn't. But another flag.
Yeah.
And
possibly another hold. Yeah. It's in the secondary, though. Kind of a weird place for a holding flag, but let's see. This is more along the lines, yeah, it is a holding call against the Titans.
Holding against Lee Summit West.
So that'll cost them 10. Shouldn't this still be first down? They're saying second down. Was that a second down play?
I think it was.
Okay. No, it's first. That's what I thought. They moved it back to first down.
Huh.
So, because that was a first down. It was first and 15 on the play after the penalty. Yeah, that's what they were doing, was because the referee, after we called the penalty, said it was second down, but then he corrected himself there. So it's first down, but first and a ton inside the 10-yard line. And Cooper, he's being chased, eludes one man, steps up, he'll throw, got a man downfield, Russo, incomplete.
Pass is incomplete.
Sammy Cooper doing his best Mahomes impression there, throwing on the run.
And I tell you what, Sammy was very close across the line.
He was close, but he hadn't.
God dang it, Joe, give me something.
Okay. He crossed the line, and the officials just blew it entirely.
8009 599 You have the winning ticket.
An official's timeout right now.
Box, claim your prize.
Maybe that's what the referees, the side judge there is coming in and saying. I thought he went across the line. In fact, my radio I've got in my ear said I heard the coach say.
Yeah, but you notice that white hat still hasn't moved. Everybody's going to him.
Well, that's what he's, come on, he's the white hat. You got to go to him. All right, they figured out whatever it is.
Second down.
Now, I was going to say, it should be second down. Now they've got third down up there.
Third down.
It's second down. Or it should be. Unless you give them 2 plays on this. That's what the coaching staff keeps saying. And this is something where the officials need to clarify this. Because they're letting this go as third down.
And it's
not, but Wilson on the carry gets up to about the 11, and they're going to call this fourth down. And that is just wrong. This is the opposite of the 5th down play. They took a down away from the Titans.
Why didn't you get them first or third?
There was a penalty on first down, which made it 1st and 15, and then Cooper ran up the middle, but they called a holding call, and so it was still first down. Then there was that play to make it second, and then they called it a third down, and they took a down away.
Yeah, they screwed that one up.
Again, there's got to be repercussions for stuff like this, though. This is not a little mistake. The side judge is coming in to have a discussion with him about it.
Well, Vinny's been in his
Well, yeah, he's screaming at him. Well, why wouldn't you? You took it down away from him.
No doubt. I'm sitting here and I'm hearing Sterling next door kind of explain the situation, too.
Well, I mean, you've got to do, as a team, you've got to go with what the officials are telling you have to go with. So if they say it's fourth down, you can't just say, no, it isn't, and play, You got to punt the ball away. But at the same time, you're still going to scream at them. Yeah, this should be a third down play. Now he's going over to talk with Lee Summit North, it looks like. John Hill, our referee, or maybe he's talking with the umpire or the back judge. Get his opinion. But like I said, if they correct it, then they correct it, although they should have corrected it before the last play.
Yes.
And like I said, there's got to be repercussions for stuff like that. It's not a little error when you take a down away from a team.
And the bad thing is nobody can hear what he's saying.
No, we'll have no way to know, yeah. Like I said, we're not crazy. There were 2 first down plays, and there were penalties called on successive plays.
Yep, they changed it.
So it's going to be third down, but what they really should do is let them replay second down. Although I think when they ran the second down play. So I assume this is third down. The down marker still says 4.
Referees have made the appropriate correction. It is third down.
So they are going to get it right, it looks like, although Coach Mosey over on the Broncos side is wanting his explanation. Although, to be honest, okay, so let me ask you this. If you were Coach Mosey, you would know that it's really third down.
Hell yes, you would.
But would you be berating the officials, or would you just say, okay, fine?
Honestly, at this time, you got to be. You got to act like you're right.
Really?
Yeah.
So that's why you keep doing it. All right, so third down, and it's still third and a ton, third and about 22.
Come on, Mark. You on my side, buddy?
Oh, trying to set up a screen. It's Wilson with the catch, but nowhere to go.
Man, I tell you what, we didn't have anybody. Well, everybody's standing around walking around him. There we go. There's an automatic first down.
I don't think you get an automatic first down. But I'm not sure that it's post-play. I think they may keep it third down. Now, the ball's at the 10. That was where he was knocked down. Or at least that's where they should mark this off from, roughly the 10 or so.
The flag is on the what? 7?
Yeah, but you don't. But you don't do it from the spot of the flag.
Let's see if they do.
Well, that's true. If they give them up to the 25, they would still be, well, actually, that would give them a first down. No, I'm sorry, that would give them, they'd still be about maybe 7-8 yards shy. But I think it would be 3rd and 8 at that point.
I believe you're right there.
So the call is a personal foul against the Broncos.
Personal foul against the Broncos.
Okay, they are marking it from the flag.
Well, I don't know. They haven't. It seems like they're trying to figure that out. It looks like they're marking it from the 10, which is where they should. It should be on the 25. Let's see where he puts it.
Is it going to be 25, and is it going to be a 3rd down?
They're putting it on, yeah, right about the 24, 25. That is roughly where.
4th down.
Yeah, but they are keeping it 4th down. Now, they're probably calling it a post-play infraction, but I thought in this scenario that you still got to keep it 3rd down.
That's what I thought, too.
And in the past, I know they've done that.
Uh-huh. I tell you what, the game's taking longer just because of freaking flags.
Are you kidding? This sequence has taken up as much time as what the first quarter did.
No doubt.
Cooper standing back at his own 11-yard line for the punt here. I'm still not so sure this shouldn't be 3rd down, but they do kick it away. Rugby-style punt. They didn't have anybody back to field it. Luckily for the Broncos, it only bounced forward maybe 5 yards, and the Broncos will take over on the 34.
Punt is down at the 33.
So the Titans unable to take advantage of the turnover after all of the drama and confusion. We need that guy that, the networks have that's the rules expert.
Analyst.
Yeah, that we can, that's back in New York or something. Mark, can you work on that for us?
Get that?
So we'll say, we'll send it back to... First and 10 for the Broncos from their own 34. Perkins, Mosey up the middle. Titans clamp up at about the 35, gain of a yard, maybe 2. Looks like they give them forward progress to the 36. Right. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Mosey hit up the middle.
They gave him a forward progress.
They did. Front 4 of the Titans able to at least get some movement this time. Clock's running with 5:22 left to go in the 3rd quarter. They come out in their standard. It's a tight end 6-man front with an H-back on the right. That's Shaw. He's moving in motion to the left, trying to run a route. They'll throw it twice. In and out of the hands of the Chris Hammond, Chase Hammond. Should have been picked off, although it would still have been a pretty athletic move there on the dive.
Would have almost looked like the one last night for Seattle. Did you see that one?
No, I didn't.
Oh my!
I was playing hockey last night.
Did you see that one for Seattle last night? That was beautiful.
I was playing hockey last night.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And the night before that, I was watching the St. Louis Blues raise their Stanley Cup banner.
Yeah, it was a pretty cool thing to give them ring to that young little girl.
It really was. 3rd down and 8. And here comes up the middle of the rush. They throw is incomplete. And the flag does come down. There was contact Fredrickson and Mosey.
That was just obvious.
Yeah. I was watching the flight of the ball, so I couldn't tell if they just collided.
They did. They just collided, and that's the break of the game.
So a collision is still pass interference?
Yeah, too bad.
Well, I mean, the thing is with that, it depends, though. I mean, if you're the runner or whatever, if you're the receiver, if you initiate the contact, it's not pass interference necessarily, is it?
Yeah, but then again, it would happen bam, bam, so.
Well, that's unfortunate because the Titans were, and that was not going to be caught. It was he called it pass interference, so that was not going to be a catchable ball, whether they ran into each other or not.
Uh-huh.
And unfortunately for the Titans, it costs them 15 yards and gives them a first down.
Pass interference against the Titans.
So I tell you what, the second half with the exception of the first play, has been all about the officials, it seems.
It has.
Which you hate to see.
You know what, Joel? Week after week, we are seeing the same thing.
And it's not the same crew or anything like that. Every crew we're getting is struggling.
No, but it's the same. Well, okay. It's the age of the crew.
Here's a give. Shaw. He was hit, but he broke a tackle. Hit by Fredrickson as he got to the second level. Stopped after a gain of 4. 2nd and 6. Clock running with 4:45 left to go.
2nd down and 6.
Like I said, though, to call games, and we've been doing this now just for Lee Summit West for, 12, 13 years, something like that. I hate having to talk about.
I know. It's not, especially as a former head coach. Yeah.
On the 2nd down play, the give. Mosey hit in the backfield, broke one tackle, got back, did a good job to get back to the original line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, half a yard or so, and set up a 3rd down, about 7. Ball's at the 46 of the Titans. They need to get to the 39.
Joel, I'll tell you what, my eyes are getting bad. I'm having a hard time picking up numbers.
Yeah.
From up here. So I might have to go to the eye doctor.
Okay. This is a big 3rd down here. The Titans really need to, come up with a stop.
I bet they try to put it back up in the air, try to get another flag.
We'll see if they come. Here they come on a late blitz, and he throws Perkins down the sideline, and it is caught. Picking on Cole again, and Muckey for the 2nd time coming up with the catch.
Perkins' pass is complete.
And again, it wasn't bad coverage per se. He did have a step on him, but he never turned his head and looked back. He had no idea the ball was coming, and Muckey just went right into the basket.
If Bill Warner was sitting up in here, he's saying you got to have a hand on the side and looking back.
You do. Well, that's the thing. If he turned his head around, he could have broken that play up easily.
Knocked it down.
Easily. 1st and 10. They make the conversion inside the red zone. They give Mosey, and he was hit. Didn't make positive yards on the play down to about the 18. It'll be a gain of maybe a yard. Let's call it 2nd and 9.
Tackle made by number 8, Glasgow.
Coming up on 3 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Broncos on top, 14-7. Titans were the only scoring in the 2nd half, and it came on the first play from scrimmage.
Ball placed at the 18.
Perkins.
1-yard gain on the run.
I don't understand why it's legal for the quarterback to go to the sideline, the coach to come onto the field, tell him the play.
Yeah, no, the coach shouldn't be able to do that.
But they've allowed it.
I know.
Shaw on the end around fell down as he tried to cut up the middle. That's going to be a loss of a couple, and it'll set up a 3rd and 11. Like I said, you can have, as long as he didn't come off the field,
he's coming on the field.
Right, I'm saying it's okay for the quarterback to come on, but to have the coach, he's like 3 yards in from the sideline to come on the field and whisper the play in. Now, I don't, in this day and age of technology, they should have better ways to get the play in anyway. But rules are rules, and I don't think that you're allowed to do that. Back to throw, Perkins throwing again down the sideline and into the end zone. Yes, caught, touchdown. Boy, I thought he was bobbling that ball when he went out of bounds. But the official was right there, made the catch, and it's a touchdown.
We don't have the instant replay.
Yeah, well, yeah.
But they've seen some on that side, so they're picking on him. Because you know why?
I was just going to say.
You know why? Because he's not turning around and giving a look.
No. And he is getting beat. I mean, it's not been bad coverage, that is to say, but they've had a step on him every one of these. So they're getting around him, and then he's trying to catch up and unable to look back for the ball. DeRusa's extra point is up and good.
And the extra point is good.
Just under 2 minutes left to go in the 3rd quarter. Titans are now once again down by a pair of touchdowns. 21-7 our score. Kickoff after this on Titan Football. A presentation of Backport Sports, Beck Rose Productions, and 810varsity.com.
810 Varsity takes you through the football season like never before. Watch games live throughout Kansas and Missouri, and even postseason action at 810varsity.com. Plus live tournament brackets, top 25, Elite 81 All-Metro team, live scoreboard, stories, and more. Check out Kansas City's new home for high school sports coverage. 810varsity.com.
Welcome back out here to Titan Stadium. Joel Becker along with Coach Royce Bain, Lee Summit West and Lee Summit North. Broncos on top of the Titans, 21-7 our score. Minute 52 left to go here in the third quarter. Coble and Wilson back deep. DeRussa has been able to kick this ball into the end zone last couple of times, tries it again and does it again. This time it was only about a yard into the end zone.
Very close.
But it was, and so the Titans will have it 1st and 10 from the 20. So the thing about that whole sequence, and yeah, you can say that the Titans defense did not step up, which they didn't, and they have been getting picked apart here in the secondary, at least on one side anyway. Cahill on the other side has come up with a pick and has not been really burned at all. But what you really hate to see is the scenario here where the Titans, prior to that whole drive, was all of our drama as 1st and 10 here from the pistol formation. They will play action, throw to Cardell, 25, and hit and tackle as he got to the 26.
Okay, tell me right there, why didn't Cardell come out here and get to the edge and get a few more yards?
How am I supposed to answer that? Ask Trevor. But at any rate, as the Titans go with pace here, and it'll be a give. Wilson trying to get around the corner. He was caught and tackled. Loss of a couple back at the 25. There is a flag down as well. And this could be a hold to go with it. Let's see if they make it third down.
But away from the play. That's what bugs the hell out of me.
Oh, it's a personal foul face mask. Excuse me.
Excuse me.
So how about that? Just assumed it was going to be a hold because of where the flag was, but it turned out as a face mask, and that'll give the Titans a 1st down. But anyway, going back to that, if you remember, that was Cahill's interception. The Titans had the ball on the 11, then there was a penalty, so they had it on the 25, 28, or whatever it was. And then we had all the confusion with the down markers and so on, and they just took all the momentum that the Titans might have had away from them. And it just basically ruined an offensive drive, changed the field position as he throws over the middle for Cardell. Makes the catch at the 45, down at the 40, at the 45. It'll be 1st down.
I tell you what, right there, it kind of looked like we had some linemen downfield.
Could have been. It's because Cooper had to delay his throw.
Right.
At any rate, 2nd down and 4. So that's the thing about it. I mean, the officiating crew got the down mark wrong on one play, eventually corrected it, but it got rid of any momentum the Titans had as Cooper trying to get around the edge here. He does. He'll get a 1st down and more coming up the far sideline across into Bronco territory, out of bounds at about the 44. They'll put him down at the 43 of the Broncos. 1st and 10 Titans. And really, Cooper has been probably our most effective runner today.
Run good for another Lee Summit West 1st down.
Half a minute to go in the quarter. Titans obviously could use some points off this drive. 1st and 10. Cooper, man in motion is Baggett. They'll give it to him, trying to get around the edge. He'll cut up. He tossed it back to Cardell, who's going to throw. Wide open is Cooper, but the throw is underthrown. I tell you what, though, they could have called interference there on the, the defensive back that tried to get back there clearly got into Cooper's way trying to get back to that ball.
Sure did.
And there was contact. It wasn't big contact, but I don't see how that's any different than, than the receiver running into our defender in the last series. How's that any different?
No, there is no difference right there, Joe.
So a little more trickery from Sterling, and this one, unfortunately, fails to work.
And I tell you, that's
not a bad play, though.
No, it's not, but that's a tough throw, though.
Yeah.
Man, from where he's at, going all the way back across field like that.
I think they were hoping he'd be more open. Cooper over the middle. Cardell makes the catch, spun down at the 39. It'll be good for about 4.
And I tell you what,
3rd and 6.
If they would run that play one more time and hit Baggett. Baggett was over the top of Cardell, wide open. Everybody's sucking in on Cardell.
Yeah. There's there's some sort of discussion going on about 5 yards down the field, and it's the end of the quarter, but I don't know what they're talking about. It was a little bit of shall we say, extracurricular activity. We'll take a break, come back for the fourth quarter. 12 minutes of football left to go. Titans, a big third down play when we come back here on Titan Football. Presentation of Backboard Sports, Beck Bros Productions, and 810varsity.com.
When it comes to SUVs, nothing beats Honda. U.S. News and World Report's best SUV brand 4 years in a row, including the 2019 Honda Pilot, one of the millions of Hondas built here in America since 1982. Or the 2019 CR-V, a crossover car and driver calls a better value than the RAV4. And right now, get Pilot with 1.9% APR financing for well-qualified buyers. For more offers, visit kchondadealers.com today.
How about this over at Rockhurst? It's now 27-7 Miege with about a minute and a half to go in the third there.
Oh, that's okay. Rock's battling back.
No, they're down 27-7.
Oh, 27-7. I thought you said 20. Oh, jeez.
27-7. They're having it handed to them tonight anyway.
Well, I tell you what, Sevy going out this year, that's tough.
All right, big play here. Third down and 6 for the Titans to start off the quarter. Back to throw Cooper. Throw in. It is caught. No, incomplete. Excuse me. Cardell had it, but it was ripped out of his hands right at the down marker. And the Titans will probably go for it here on fourth down from the 39. Again, it's 4th and 6.
And when's the last time Rockers went 0-2? Back-to-back losses.
I don't know. A few years ago. They were like 500 a few years ago, remember?
Yeah. But I don't recall the back-to-back.
Well, it's kind of, I mean, I suppose they could have won every other game, but.
Yeah. Joel, there you are again. Dadgum.
Fourth down and 6. Cooper back to throw. Here they come. They'll pump. He'll throw over the middle, incomplete. He had a man, Cardell, and again, he couldn't get a hand on it. I think he was a little frustrated there. Maybe thought that there was a little bit of contact.
Well, also might have been underthrown, too.
I think it was actually thrown a little past him. So the Broncos will take over on downs at their own 39, and the Titans defense just has to step up here.
They do.
You know, they were very good in the first quarter and a half, but since then, the Broncos have found a bit of a formula here. We'll see if they can continue it. Perkins from the shotgun takes the snap, and they'll give it late to Mosey. Cuts up the middle. He's got a hole. And he was able to get up to around the 45. There's a flag down, though.
Holding area.
Yeah, or a chop block, maybe. Chop block is the call. Is chop block 10 or 15 yards in this league? I don't know. I think in the NFL it's 15, isn't it?
I think it is. And in high school, too.
Yeah. Well, it's a dangerous play.
It is very dangerous.
If you're not familiar with it,
that's what I was asking you earlier. They were doing that earlier, and they weren't calling it.
Yeah. That's why I thought that might have been what it was, because of the way the hole opened up like that. All right, so after the penalty, it is 1st and 24. Should it be third down? No, I'm just kidding. Empty backfield for Perkins. And he goes back to throw. Titans coming. He'll roll to the right side. He's going to run. He throws at the last second, and it is caught. And I tell you what, he was pretty darn close to the line.
Yes, he was.
But that'll be good up to around the 40. Got most of that, in fact, the 15 yards plus back. And we'll set up a second down about 8.
Pass is complete. Tackle made at the 43.
Would have been kind of nice to see just how close he was to going across the line. 27-14, Ray Peck over Blue Springs, by the way, in the third quarter there. That's in Blue Springs. Give to Mosey. Boy, there's some holding going on. There goes the flag. And I tell you what, Devin Force was... Devin Force did not like the fact he got held. No, came up and said something to Wes Martin. Then he noticed the flag was there and said, my bad.
Holding against Lissa.
So this one's coming back.
(27-14).
Yeah, that'll be 6.5 minutes to go in the third quarter there in Blue Springs. Who's Lee Summit playing tonight? I was looking for their score.
St. Joe Central.
Okay, 22-0, Lee Summit.
And it's their homecoming.
Yeah, I believe that's a halftime score or something like that. So it's probably a little old. So after the penalty, the ball pushed back to the 31. They need to get to the 49, so it'll be 2nd and 18. The only thing about this, though, is that, you know, the Titans are down by 2 scores, and they're able to eat up some of the clock here on this offensive drive. Down to about 10.5 minutes left to go. Perkins give to Shaw. He's hitting the backfield, and Devin Force, a force in the backfield for a tackle for a loss. A couple of yards back to the 29. It'll be 3rd down and 20 from there.
Very nicely done.
Brought down at the 29-yard line.
So here's the question. Do the Titans go for pressure on this play on 3rd and 20?
No, they're going to throw the football.
Well, right, but do they go for pressure, in other words, blitz, and try and get them to have to let it go early, or do they rely on their secondary?
Well, it looks like we're coming off the edge now.
Oh, and it's a fumbled snap. And Perkins had to fall on it, so it'll go down as a sack back to the 24-yard line and set up a punting situation. So a break for the Titans there.
Snap is fumbled. Falling on by number 11, Perkins.
Clock down to 9.5 minutes left to go as they set up for a punt.
Man, I'd like to see a nice return right here.
That'd be fine, but we should get good position either way.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if it's a high punt, I'd be happy with a fair catch. DeRusso's standing at about his own 10. They're coming after that for a block. They couldn't quite get to it. They do run into the kicker.
Is there a flag?
Yep, and there's a flag in the backfield as well. So this is going to be, I believe, offsetting penalties.
Got flags on both ends.
No, I'm not. I take that back. This is going to be both on the Titans. Now the question is, it should not be enough for them to. They should be able to re-kick here.
Well, he picked it up.
No, he didn't.
One of them.
No, there's still 2. There's going to be a running into the kicker, but is it roughing the kicker is the question, or running into? And the other flag is going to be
pick up the flag off the 20.
So they are going to pick up that flag.
So there was 3.
And then the one back at the 40 is going to be an illegal block or a hold or something against the Titans. And I'm glad to see him pick that up, because I did not think that it is an illegal block against the Titans. So they're going to end up starting on their own 31. Yeah, there was contact, but I did not think that it was running into the kicker.
I'm sorry, Joel, I couldn't see. Kind of had some people in my way.
But it's 1st and 10 Titans.
So 1st and 10, Lee Summit West, with 9 minutes left to go in regulation time and down by a pair of scores. We'll see what they can do here on offense. It'll be a give from Surratt up the middle. He'll pick up about 3, 2nd down and 7.
Carried by number 23, Jackson Surratt.
Surratt will come out, Donahoe in.
3-yard gain, 2nd down and 7.
Donahoe will go as an H-back on the right side, Twins on the left. Wilson in the pistol. He'll get the call, trying to go right side. He's hit and able to get up to around the 38. It'll be a pickup of another 3 or so, and set up a 3rd down, a long 3 or a short 4. Didn't get much of a spot, actually. They're putting it at even shy of the 37. I thought he was closer to 38.
I did too, especially the way he was tackled.
Yeah. So let's call it 3rd and 4. Wilson comes in motion to the left side. Cooper trying to set it up, throws, it's a caught down the far sideline. Cardell, he's hitting tackle as he gets to the 40. Little slant route for Trevor Cardell. Picks up about 20 yards. It'll be 1st and 10 Titans in Bronco territory.
First down.
I thought he was going to swing that out to Wilson.
Ball placed at the Bronco 40-yard line.
That was set up too, Joel.
Yeah. I think it would have worked, at least for the first down. But Cardell got plenty more. 1st and 10, empty backfield. Twins on either side. Now a man in motion is Baggett to the right side. From the shotgun, Cooper back to throw. Throws over the middle, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Broncos.
Number 43, Joseph Thomas.
And Joseph Thomas, and I don't know if that was a miscommunication. The interception was just sort of an overthrow interception playing center field, you know.
Right.
But I don't know if it was just a miscommunication on the routes or what.
Yeah, and I'm seeing that Sterling came out of the press box and he's on the field now. That's kind of early.
Yeah. Interesting. So another turnover. There's been a lot of turnovers in this game, both sides.
Yes, there has been.
And, you know, it's interesting because the Titans have finally gotten to the point where they're giving Cooper a little bit more time. He hasn't really been pressured that badly like he was at least earlier in the game.
And really, I didn't see a receiver in that area, did you?
Well, no, he overthrew a receiver that was in the middle. No, like I said, the catch as they swing it out to Shaw trying to get around the edge and forced out of bounds, not much gain there. The original pass was sort of over the middle, and the guy who caught it was, you know,
so
back in center field. Yeah. The intended receiver was somewhere in the middle of the, but like I said, I don't know if it was that he went one way and the throw went another, or if he just overthrew him or what. But like you said, if you weren't, you wouldn't really have seen any quote unquote intended receiver. But the only guy that was in the area was in a more intermediate location. On 2nd and 9, give to Mosey, looking for a hole up the middle, and gets a couple, maybe 4. It'll set up a 3rd down and 6. And again, the Titan defense needs to come up with a stop here. Clock is running under 7 minutes to go. And the Titans down by a pair of scores at 21-7. Kind of a deja vu all over again feel to the game, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, but like I said, and like we talked about at halftime, you know, always in our districts, you have a chance to play each other again.
There's a good possibility, although you never know. And I said I'd take that deal as Perkins gives to Mosey right side, and he's going to get a 1st down. They needed 5 yards, a long 5, and still went with the run and got it easily. So I said to you at halftime, I'd make the deal that if we're going to lose to him in the regular season and beat him in the playoffs every year, I'll take that deal.
Now let's see if Leaf Summit North starts slowing down. And
they pretty much have been trying to eat up clock and keep the ball on the ground for the most part. Clock running with 6:15 left to go. There's 15 seconds on the play clock, and they haven't come out of the huddle yet. They do with 11 and come up to the line. Mosey and Shaw, they're going empty. They seem a little confused as of the play. I think they're going to call timeout here as they got down to a second left, and I don't think they had any idea what the play was. So North will call a timeout with 5:58 left to go, but they have the luxury of doing it. That's their first timeout of the half. Titans do have all 3, but it's the Titans that are chasing the Broncos at 21-7.
Second place was Harmony Council.
Yeah, and you know what?
And the 2019 float winner.
And honestly, this year we're chasing. We don't play very good. We
like you said, you talked about that before. The fact that the Titans seem to do best when they get the early lead and
Congratulations.
And have the momentum.
And thanks again to all of you who came out to support Lissa West Homecoming Parade.
So after the timeout, on 1st and 10, it'll be a give to Mosey on the jet sweep. There is a flag, another hold. This time I think it was Benedetti who got held in the backfield, so this should cost them and set up a 1st and 22 after the call. And holding is the call. So we're in Liberty next week. The Titans back on the road for a couple of weeks.
We'll go Liberty to Blue Springs, Ray Peck.
I believe so. So after the penalty, 1st and 22. Perkins from the shotgun. We'll see if they keep it on the ground here. Mosey is to his right. Letting the clock run down. It's 10 seconds. Clock down to 5:35 on the game clock. It'll be a give up the middle. Mosey. He'll bounce it to the outside. Hit and tackled. Peck took him down as he got to the 32. Pickup of a couple. But they can bleed another half a minute off the clock here. It'll be under 5 minutes before they run the next play.
Lissa North coming in here, coming with the victory. It's big for them. They've got two tough losses though. Liberty North and then also Park Hill. And I tell you what, in the history of Lee Summit North, they have never beaten Park Hill.
Second down. And again, it's Mosey, this time trying the right side, broke a couple tackles. He was able to get up near the 40. He'll be about the 39 and set up a 3rd down and about 13 from there.
Mosey with the run, tackle made by number 1.
And again, they'll bleed another half a minute off the clock. We'll be at about 4 minutes by the time this next play gets run out. Liberty, by the way, at the moment, trailing Park Hill South 22-21 at home. That is with about 3 minutes left to go. So 3rd and long. Do they go to the air here or keep it on the ground?
I'd say they go to the air.
I think they keep it on the ground.
Oh.
Back to the air, and they throw down the sideline. It's incomplete.
Now he did a much better job. Did you see that? He had his hand on him, and he was looking back.
It's because it wasn't the same guy. That was Grace on the coverage over there.
Gummit, Joe.
Instead of Cole. And like you said, and I think they should have kept it on the ground, personally. Because, I mean, look at it. You know,
chew the clock.
Yeah, it would have. The Titans would have had the ball with 3 minutes left to go, down by 2 scores. Now they're going to get it back with, you know, a little less than 4 minutes, but still, why not? What's the point of throwing that ball?
Yeah.
Up by 2 scores, they should have kept it on the ground. But anyway, interestingly, their punt formation here is the kind where you could go for it. They're going to call timeout. I was going to say a second ticked off the clock that shouldn't have. The Broncos call timeout anyway. That was weird because they weren't in punting formation. Although they did pooch punt out of that one time, but this would not be an area where you'd want to pooch punt it. Ray-Pec now 34-14 over Blue Springs, just underway in the 4th.
Man. And Blue Springs.
This has been one of those years where you really can't tell from week to week what's going to happen.
No, you can't.
They haven't updated the Lee Summit score. It's still 22-0 at home to St. Joe Central. Liberty North 24-12 over Staley. They're having a good year, aren't they?
Yes, they are having a really good year.
So
and they're going to come in number 1 in our district.
Yeah.
Liberty North.
Wouldn't be surprised. Drew standing at about his 32. They didn't come after him as hard this time. High short kick. Takes a Bronco bounce, goes to about the 31 or 32 of the Titans, and they'll take over with 3:45 left to go.
Down at the 32-yard line, it'll be 1st and 10, Lissa West.
Well, the good news is that the Titans definitely have good quick strike capability.
They do.
The bad news is they need two strikes. Yeah,
short time
and only 3:45 to do it in.
Now we got 3 timeouts left.
Yep. (34-7) Miege over Rockhurst.
34-7.
All right, 1st and 10 Titans from their own 32. Cooper throws over the middle. Cardell on the slant route makes the catch, going up the middle, gets up near midfield, about 48 or so. They'll stop the clock with 3:34 to move the chains. Titans get up to the line quickly.
48-yard line, 1st and 10.
They stop this play before it gets going, which is actually a break for the Titans. They're going to call offsides actually on the Broncos here, I believe.
Offsides against the Broncos.
So that moves it into Bronco territory at the Lee Summit North 47, 1st and 5.
Well, you think we might see some trickery stuff here?
You never know. Trips on the right side from the pistol, throwing over the middle, Baggett in and out of his hands, almost intercepted. As
Pass is incomplete. 10 for number 15, Baggett.
it went through his hands. He kind of alligator armed it a little bit there.
He did.
And Joseph Thomas almost had his second interception. Clock stopped with 3:21 left to go. Cooper empty backfield, trips on the left, Twins on the right.
They're offsides.
They are. And they do call it. The people in the stands have noticed.
They've seen it.
So that'll give them a first down.
The Broncos.
Two offsides plays equals 10 yards. That'll be 1st and 10. He's lining up offsides.
Yeah,
but,
he is.
But as soon as you stick that helmet across the plane, you can't even run the play. It's not like the NFL, where you can line up in the neutral zone, run a free play. Doesn't work like that. So 1st and 10, 42. Yeah, why is the clock running? Back to throw, over the middle, caught Baggett, makes a move inside the 20 to the 15, 10, 5, touchdown! Touchdown, Titans! As Colby Baggett on the skinny post over the middle.
Very nice.
And the Titans back to within one strike again. There's under 3 minutes left to go. Although I still don't understand why the clock was running before that play started, because it was not running before the penalty.
Right.
So you had a penalty call, and then they started the clock again, and that's not right.
But I think Jeff got that from the White Hat, didn't you?
Oh, I'm sure he did. I'm saying I don't know why the officials started the clock moving. You shouldn't have. Extra point from Stewart is good.
And the extra point.
2:54 left to go in regulation time. Titans back to within 7, 21-14. Will they try an onside kick? We'll find out when we come back here on Titan Football, a presentation of Backcourt Sports, Beck Bros Productions, and A10Varsity.com.
Today is a new day. A day we've been waiting for our whole lives. We've put in the work to get to this moment, to have this opportunity to come together as a team. Everyone knows KC is on the rise, but what they don't know is we're just getting started.
Community America, powering the rise of Kansas City.
Welcome back out to Titan Stadium. So do you kick it onside kick here, Coach, if you're coach right now? There's a little less than 3 minutes to go.
You got all 3 timeouts left.
Yeah, 3 timeouts, yeah.
And
Your defense has been able to stop them.
And they're expecting it, so...
Yeah, they got the hands team out.
I would go ahead and kick it deep.
You know what I might do? I might try and kick it in an intermediate. Just kick it high and try and see if you can get it to land around the 30.
Run by him.
Yeah, and see if you can't pick it up. It's not an onside kick, but it doesn't give them great field position. And you have the possibility. The other thing I might do is just kick it up, man, and see and hope for the best.
Right.
Instead, he kicks it deep. And it is going to be fielded at about the 7-yard line. Up the middle, Mosey at the 16. He's hit, falls forward to about the 17.
I think that was the smartest thing to do right there.
Yeah, well, that wasn't bad.
No, I mean, get him down deep. You got 3 timeouts.
Yeah.
Let's have that front 7 come alive and secondary.
Now the question is, if you're Coach Mosey, are you in any way aggressive here? Do you know?
Oh, I think.
In other words, the first couple plays, you're obviously going to run the ball,
and you got to get a first down. Mosey's thinking.
Well, that's what I mean. But you make them burn 2 timeouts on the first 2 plays, but then on that 3rd play, do you go for broke, get that first down, and end the game, or do you make them burn that 3rd timeout and hope for the best? I don't know. We'll see what happens. Of course, the defense does have to stop them here. On first down, the give Mosey. He's hitting the backfield and taken down. Peck with the penetration. Shaw with the run, not Mosey.
Shaw is stuffed in the backfield.
And the Titans will call timeout. Burn their first with 2:43 left to go. So we're going to take a poll up here in the press box as to whether or not after the timeout's over, if the White Hat's going to, move the clock, start the clock.
Let's see.
Lissa West with the timeout.
I don't know what took so long for them to acknowledge the timeout. They took the timeout immediately after the play was over.
Yeah, Sterling better watch over here on the sideline. He is right. Well, there we go.
What's he watching?
I don't know. Him and the official getting into it.
I think as long as they're just having a discussion. Although I tell you what, if the discussion was don't come onto the field, I'd be pretty livid after them allowing that on the other side. At, literally every play.
Now they're getting a sideline warning to back up.
All right, 2nd down and 11. Perkins will hand off. Mosey again hitting the backfield, and Basil takes him down. And the Titans will call timeout, burn their second with 2:36 left to go. Well, the defense is definitely coming up big right now. In fact, if they can keep pushing them back, they should have really good field position.
Really good field position.
Hopefully make them punt out of their own end zone. One question, let's just say for the sake of argument they get, nothing on this play. Now, I don't know if they're going to throw it here or if they're going to try and run or what they're going to do, but let's just say they get nothing. Would you go after the punter kicking out of his own end zone, but you already... you ran into him once, but they picked the flag up.
I would say I'd put a little heat on him to press him a little bit.
Yeah, but make sure that everybody knows, do not
right.
Yeah.
Here's the big one, too. Do you waste the time out here and go ahead and...
If they stop them?
Yes.
Yes, I blow a timeout. I always blow timeouts on defense because it's a lot easier to stop the clock on offense.
It's 3rd down.
Although you can't spike the ball, can you, in high school? Didn't we get called for intentional grounding one time on that?
No, it's we told him we were going to spike it, and he ran it.
Oh. And they are going to give it, and knocked down. And it is Mosey on the carry at about the 15, and the Titans do call that last timeout. See, the thing is, if you don't call the last time out, then they can burn it good 30 seconds off the clock, maybe even more, depending on, how quickly they set it up and so on. Whereas on offense, you have a lot more control over it. You can get up to the line, whether you spike it or whether you even run a play. You're never put in a position where you just have to stand there and watch 30 seconds go bleed off. So absolutely, I'm okay with calling the timeout here. Because think about how many plays you'll be able to run on offense in that 30 seconds that would have been lost here.
Yeah.
Probably run at least 3 plays.
Very true.
So again, the question is, he's going to be standing probably right at about the goal line. Do you come after him, DeRoos?
Taylor Wilson back to receive the punt.
The other thing you can do is set up for a return and get great field position out of it. He's standing at his own 2 or 3. The Titans set up for the return. And the kick is high, and it comes down, and Wilson lets it bounce. It takes a Titan bounce. Oh, it's caught by a Titan up man. That was a lucky but dangerous play. As
Carswell.
Was that Carswell who did that?
At the 41-yard line.
Hopefully they'll still feed him dinner tonight. Because, he ended up making a good play out of it, but that was dangerous, because he could have been hit right as he caught it, could have come loose. Anything could have happened. But the Titans have good field position at the Bronco 41. They have 2:19 to get the equalizing score here and send this game into overtime. Or you never know, they could always go for 2.
Yeah.
If they can get in the end zone.
Be a little North Carolina Clemson.
They're calling a penalty here. It was an illegal block or a hold on the Titans, so I didn't notice that.
I didn't either.
But I guess I didn't even notice the flag. That'll push them back to their own 49. So they got 51 yards to get into the end zone, and no timeouts. 2:19 left to do it in. Trips on the left side. Russo's on the right. Cooper rolling away. He will throw, and it's incomplete. Just threw it over the head of Russo to save the down, or I should say save the field position. It'll be 2nd and 10 from the 49, and that's the smart play there. Clock down to 2:13 left to go. We'll see if the Broncos continue to bring pressure. A little bit of a flinch there, but they play on. They throw to Russo. Boy, there's a flag at the end. I was just going to say, because, all right, so it went through the hands of Russo, and then Mack, the defender, literally slapped him in the face mask. It was, it wasn't, it was like a punch, basically. I don't think it was done, with malice per se. But it's just, in these kinds of days, they're going to send DeRusso off. But with the emphasis they have on blows to the head, you just can't do that. And you could see his head turned. It was like, literally, it was like he got punched in the face. It was the face mask, but it still doesn't matter. This should be a 15-yard penalty. I think they're trying to determine who it was. They may be calling unsportsmanlike conduct.
No, it was number 4.
I know that.
Oh, damn it, Joel.
They're calling it a personal foul. So it'll be 15 yards. It'll be a first down for the Titans. And it'll be in Bronco territory at the 36-yard line. Clock is stopped with 2:10 left to go.
After the personal foul penalty against the Broncos, ball be placed.
And they should not start the clock here because it was an incomplete pass before. And this time they don't. Trips on the left. One on the right. Back to throw over the middle. Incomplete. Boy, that sure looked like there was a grab. It was intended for Baggett. And it was Gaskin on the coverage. And he had he had 2 hands on his shoulder right as he was making the catch. But got away with it. It'll be 2nd and 10. In the NFL, be asking for a review.
No doubt.
Interesting to play it over the middle. That shows that the Titans, even with no timeouts, are not afraid to throw the ball over the middle with over 2 minutes left to go. Back to throw Cooper. They're bringing the pressure. He'll throw left side. He's got a man. It's caught. And it's McAtee inside down to the 20-yard line. They'll stop the clock to move the chains with exactly 2 minutes left to go. McAtee on the catch. Good throw from Cooper.
Great throw. And the thing there is that Cardell was wide open over the top.
So the clock gets moving. The Titans come up to the line. Clock running now, minute 50 left to go. Back to throw is Cooper, trying to set up a screen. Got it to Cardell. To the 15, to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown! Touchdown, Titans! Trevor Cardell, there is a flag down on the play. This one may be coming back for a hold.
Flag down at the 10-yard line.
Maybe an illegal block.
Holding against Lissa West.
The call is a hold. It should be from the spot. They're going to put the ball down at the 21. Clock stopped with 1:44 left to go. So both teams now have had 7 points taken off the boards for a penalty at one point or another in the game.
That'll back them up to the 21-yard line. Repeat first down.
1st and 11 now. They go twins on either side. Cooper, low snap. They'll throw over the middle, and it is caught by Baggett. But that's going to keep the clock running. We're down to a minute 37 and counting. 2nd down and about 6, maybe 7. Let's call it 6. They get up to the line quickly from the pistol. Again, a low snap, but Cooper fields it. He's got time, trying to find somewhere to go. He pulls the ball down, running toward the sideline. He'll get to the 15, down to about the 13. Stops the clock with a minute 19 left to go. It's good for a couple yards, and it'll send up a 3rd down and 3. Obviously, they got two downs to get those 3 yards.
4-yard gain on the scramble.
Tell you what, I think Sammy was probably lucky that he was able to elude the coverage, because he looked like he was trapped in the pocket.
He did look like that.
Play clock's down to 11 as they come up to the line with trips on the left, one man on the right. Wilson is in the backfield on 3rd down. And Cooper back to throw. Nowhere to throw. Now he'll step up. He's staying behind the line, throws toward the end zone, intercepted. Picked off again, and it's the same guy who did it the last time and jumped the route before, Davis. He'll run out of bounds, and that should seal it for the Broncos. And I tell you what, we've been talking for about 5 weeks now about the great decision-making of Sammy Cooper, and unfortunately, that time, not so much.
No, it wasn't.
The funny thing is, he probably could have gotten a 1st down if he'd just run with the ball. And, again, live to fight another day. There was plenty of time on the clock.
Yep.
The Broncos are going to be able to just kneel it out now because the Titans can't stop it. So they're going to win this game. But, that was a play where I understand what Sammy saw. He saw somebody open in the end zone, but in a position where he could not get him the ball. There was no way for him to get that ball to the guy in the end zone without either putting it in a position where it was going to be incomplete or it could have been picked off. And that's what he did. He tried to put touch on it, and it was just too easy to jump that route.
Yeah, and plus he's throwing across his body.
Right. But good learning experience for the Broncos and play Lee Summit this year, or do they take the city title with this
They're just
one
going to
win
take the
again?
city title with this.
So Perkins will need to kneel down one more time, and that's going to do it. So the clock's down to 24 seconds, but the Titans can't do anything about it. It was a valiant effort, and I tell you what, they were in the end zone to tie the score, and if it weren't for a hold, we'd be talking about overtime right now. Instead, it's a 21-14 victory for the Lee Summit North Broncos over the Lee Summit West Titans. We'll take a break. Come back for postgame after this on Titan Football, presentation of Backport Sports, Beck Rose Productions, and 810varsity.com.
Don't trust the biggest investment of your life to a part-time real estate agent. Trust the #1 team in Lee Summit and the entire state, the Rob Ellerman Team. The Rob Ellerman Team is the #1 real estate team in Missouri and number 12 nationally ranked in the U.S. with $1.5 billion in career sales. They are your real estate resource for buying or selling. They get you moving. Call anytime at 816-304-4434 or visit therobellermanteam.com. That's 816-304-4434 or anytime online. The Rob Ellerman Team, a proud supporter of Lee Summit Area High School athletics.
Gear up for back to sport at Academy Sports and Outdoors.
Cryotherapy is an amazing recovery tool for athletes at all levels, and Casey Cryo in Lee Summit has the latest technology for athletes to recover in a quick and natural way. 3 minutes and a state-of-the-art nitrogen-cooled cryo chamber helps aid muscle soreness, joint pain, raises energy levels, and more. Casey Cryo also offers Normatec compression therapy, which massages sore muscles and joints to get toxins and lactic acid flushed out. Recover quicker at Casey Cryo in Lee Summit, just off 50 Highway between Chipman and 3rd, next to Genesis.
When it comes to painting the exterior or interior of your home, the decision is easy. Unique Painting. Voted best in the Northland for 2 years running in 2018 and 2019. Unique Painting focuses on customers' needs and offers competitive pricing, going the extra mile to make sure customers are completely satisfied. In fact, when 810 Varsity needed a paint job this year, Unique Painting was the only phone call made. Visit anytime at uniquepaintingkc.com or call today at 816-500-7759. That's uniquepaintingkc.com, a proud supporter of 810 Varsity and Metro High School athletics.
Whether it's a car accident, storm damage, or a fire, when the unthinkable happens, it doesn't matter if you saved money in 15 minutes. In this moment, it doesn't matter if your neighbor has the same insurance you do. In this moment, what matters is that your independent insurance agent and the company that stands behind them have you covered. Auto Owners Insurance, the no-problem people. Visit Briar Payne Mead Insurance in Kansas City today at bpminsurance.com or call 913-402-9576. That's 913-402-9576 and ask about Auto Owners Insurance today.
Welcome back out to Titan Stadium. Joel Becker, Coach Royce Boehm, Lee Summit West and Lee Summit North. Broncos handing the Titans their second loss on the season as both teams now move to 4-2. 21-14 is our final score here tonight. And, a topsy-turvy season in Class 6, Misha, continues here in this Kansas City metro area. Rockhurst, it's now a final 34-7 losing to Bishop Miege.
Wow.
Again, Blue Springs South puts a whipping on William Christman, 50-13 is that score in the fourth quarter.
Them their first victory.
Yep. We'll keep throwing some scores in, but you've got some post-game numbers.
I'll tell you another thing. I do think I am going to give Broncos some credit here.
Yeah.
They left the field. They didn't celebrate. That was pretty classy, I thought. But now going back to stats,
35-0 Park Hill over Fort Osage. That's a final.
Total offense tonight, yardage, Lee Summit North 286, Lee Summit West 328. Passing, Lee Summit North 187, Lee Summit West 245. So everything that you're going to see and hear here, it should be Lee Summit West walking off the field with a victory.
Not too many turnovers.
Way too many turnovers.
That was kind of the same thing that happened to him against Park Hill, if you remember.
Yes. This is it right here. I mean, penalty yards. There were 16 penalties for Lee Summit North for 170 yards.
Okay.
There was 8 penalties for Lee Summit West for 85 yards.
And one down taken away and then given back.
Turnovers, 1 for the Broncos and then 4. And that's not Titan football when you have 4 turnovers.
No.
Here's the big one. Time of possession, Lee Summit North 28-54. Titans 18-28.
Some of that's a little misleading because, of course, the Broncos, after they got the lead, spent a lot of time grinding it out on the ground and chewing up clock. But it does make a difference. By the way, Blue Springs trying to make more of a game out of it, but don't think they will. 41-29 is the score. Ray-Pec on top of Blue Springs, but that's with less than 2 minutes to go. So
Sammy Cooper was 12 for 29 for 245 yards, 2 touchdowns, but the killer, 4 interceptions.
Yeah, this was easily the worst game he's played since the Park Hill game.
Here was another we're not used to. Taylor Wilson, the tailback, 12 attempts for 42 yards.
Yeah, not much.
No, not much in our running game.
Liberty North, by the way, it's a final now, 24-12 over Staley.
Wow.
Not 40-0, but still a.
And that's another unusual back-to-back losses for Staley.
Yeah.
The receiving, Colby Baguette, 4 receptions for 131 yards.
It's interesting. He, obviously that's now 2 games. That's like 10 catches in 2 games for him. But I would not have considered this an especially good game for him. In that there were at least 2 or 3 times where he was targeted, probably should have come up with a catch and didn't.
And didn't.
That's not to take away from the catches he did have, but I thought we've seen better out of him than today.
Yes. Man, that's pretty much it. Okay. That's pretty much all of them. Unless you want me to give you tackles and stuff like that.
No.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Pancakes.
No.
This is one that I wouldn't even. There's no real point in going over a player of the game thing, because I don't know that.
I don't have one.
I mean, Trevor Cardell is probably the closest thing we got from because he did make some catches, but I don't. The only other guy you could conceivably give it to is Cahill, because the funny thing is as much as our secondary was ripped up today, Cahill's side he wasn't targeted for the most part, and when he was, he made an interception. Right. So, you could say that our front 4 did a pretty good job over the, as far
not bad.
Yeah,
it wasn't.
I thought Forrest and Basil had a good game. So did Benedetti, for that matter, and I would say the linebackers did okay, and they did on the run. They didn't so much on the pass.
No, they didn't.
So it was just not their best performance.
No, it wasn't. But
like I said, it was kind of deja vu all over again with Lissa North from last year.
But you know what? And we've always talked about it. I mean, taking a loss, taking a tough one. You had points on the board that were taken off. And so, you know what? I think this is one you build on, especially with you got Liberty, Blue Springs, and Ray-Pec.
Yeah.
And like you said in Class 6, you don't know who in the hell's going to take out who.
Well, that's what's been going on this year, yeah. It's been back and forth other than Liberty North. It's, Park Hill has come up with wins for the most part, but they've been shown to be beatable also. And, last year, like I said before, that was one of the kind of the nice things about how things worked out, was that we had the advantage when we finally did play Lee Summit North in the playoffs of knowing how they beat us in the regular season. And, that's the great educator.
Well, and plus you take an interception for 7. Well, it's 14-14 right now. We're playing overtime.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing is that, and just 4 interceptions. You're not going to win a whole lot of games when you're throwing 4 interceptions, and including at least one of them being a pick 6.
And like you said, too, Sammy didn't make all the right decisions. Sammy,
no.
If he, that last one right there, if he would have just ran the ball, he would have got a first down.
Right, and been able to
continue
the drive. There was plenty of time on the clock for them to, take some more shots at the end zone. Trying to force it in the way he did was not the right decision, but I'm sure that will be explained to him.
Yeah.
And like I said, you can learn. He'll hopefully learn from it. So, all right. Well, let's look ahead. Next week it is up to Liberty. They don't play at William Jewell anymore.
No, they got a beautiful stadium. Beautiful stadium. Them and Liberty North both. So I'm excited. I've seen it, but I'm.
Have we not been there? Do they got an elevator?
I don't know, but it's up there.
They better have an elevator. Well, they put a new one in. You got to have an elevator.
No doubt.
All right, so that'll be next week. And it'll be a 7 o'clock game on Friday. Hopefully you can join us, but if you can't make the game, you can always watch it on 810varsity.com or listen to it on lswradio.com. Again, the final score here tonight, it was Lee Summit North, giving the Lee Summit West Titans a frowny face for homecoming. 21-14, the final, Broncos over the Titans. Thanks to our interns for their good work producing the game tonight on the camera and also on the audio. Our EP, Mark Files, and for the coach, Royce Bame, Joel Becker here from Titan Stadium saying good night on Titan Football. A presentation of Back Porch Sports, Beck Bros Productions, and 810varsity.com.